Welcome, everybody, to episode 86 of the Rap K podcast. I'm your host, Chris Platte, a.k.a. Platte Paz, with a new crew, but you know it's dope every time. I got my boy Dom on the right of me. I got Brian. You know Brian, he's held it down.
AKA,
and
I'm
Big
throwing
AP
a nickname out there. This
Do we have a nickname?
Baby. That's neck bones. That's neck bones. Come on.
Listen, man. Everybody
me,
does
boys.
their time and they get a nickname. So I met it. There will probably be a nickname for Dom before the end of the episode. We're just gonna get right into it. There was a couple lists that Complex dropped. Complex dropped a top 50 albums since the 21st century, so from 2000 on, and they also dropped a top 40 motivational rap songs.
In my opinion, that's a stupid list, honestly, because
which one, the motivational rap?
The motivational one, and this not the list itself, but the concept of it, and like. What's motivational to you? I feel like is extremely subjective.
Well, that's why I hate about their disclaimer was like, oh yeah, like Juicy isn't motivational. Like what?
Yeah, it's just like
they literally mentioned
motivational.
They mentioned that, and I'm like, bro, I remember like hearing that at every party, and. That was one of the records where that song came on, and every single person, like, I don't care who you were, started rapping that verse.
Yeah.
Like, so to me, it was like that is like the hustler, like, rags to riches story, and I get what they were trying to say, but like I looked at that was like so subjective that like I don't because to me it's like if I'm doing a top 40 like motivational list, like I'm having like 27 Nipsey Hussle songs.
Yeah,
that's
like
fair.
you know what I mean?
Fair. Like the subjective part, like you can have a song on there that's motivational to somebody that wants to be a drug dealer.
Yeah,
and that's
right.
the bound
What is
that
your
it won't
motivation?
exceed to.
That is a great point. What do you want to be motivated?
What do you want to be motivated by? And
Fair.
you're probably gonna leave songs like that off. Now, am I saying that's the right type of motivation? No. Personally, I don't think it is. But is it motivational? Yes.
Because I will say, as far we've discussed a lot of lists on this show. Otherwise, I will say is that actually Complex's top list wasn't as bad as I expected it to be.
The albums or the motivation?
The albums.
Okay.
I wasn't as mad at it.
Yeah, let's save that. Let's focus on the motivational before we get there, because to me, like the biggest outcry was like having our right like top like 10 was like, all right, I get it, because it has its place. It has its cultural standing. And I love Kendrick. He's my favorite artist. But the thing that I thought was an overreach, and I love this record, is DNA. Like, DNA doesn't motivate me.
That is not a motivational record by any means. At all.
Like, DNA is a hype record that I listen to, that I love, because it's like the energy, it's the intensity of it, it's the rawness of it. I love that record. I love that record for everything that it is. But
is it motivational? No.
It doesn't inspire me to be a better person.
No.
And
so do you feel
versus
like,
Ocean Blues?
Do you feel
Nipsey
like
Hussle.
they just used the wrong word there? Instead of motivational, they should have used the top 40 most hype songs.
No, I think it's subjective. I think it's just too subjective.
It is too subjective. There shouldn't. I get Complex and what they do and why they release that, but I feel like that's a horrible take.
It's a stupid
list. That should not be a list that's made, in my opinion.
Right.
Because you'd have to limit that to well over 40 songs, and even if you did that, the top whatever number you want to give to each zone, but it's never gonna satisfy or be appreciated by everyone.
And
It's too hard to come to an agreement
Because
on.
everybody's motivated by different things.
Exactly. We can say like what the
Number
top 40
38
best
on
rap songs
number
are, and
38
a
on
lot
this
of
list
people
is
will
Get
agree
It
on a lot
Sexy.
of the higher picks. Whereas the motivational, it's like
Crazy.
it's too
How's that on
spread
the
out
top
between
40?
everybody.
And
Yeah.
I would say that although, like, you know, I call a lot of this kind of thing out, but this is, I think, a very valid point is that a song that somebody, whoever it may be, finds motivational, that is one very particular situation where a lot of it is dependent on the instrumental of the song. And the way
Right.
that it makes you feel, like, when you listen to it is part of that motivational kind of thing. And like DNA doesn't have that
No.
that thing to it where it
No.
like makes you feel like it doesn't feel like you're like triumph, you
Right.
know, or whatever.
Right.
You know, it doesn't quite have that thing to it. So I thought
I'll be honest
DNA
with you.
was weird.
As
on
a
there.
as a Kendrick fan, what would if I'm just talking about purely subjectively my opinion, what motivates me more is feel than DNA.
Right.
Yeah.
Like-
some people get
like, to
motivated
me-
by songs
yes.
that don't have it. but-
Exactly. And it's like okay, so like one of the biggest disconnects is like Man at the Garden, right? Like some people love that record, like LeBron rapped that record at his birthday party and he meant every word and you could tell that he's inspired by
It's the
it.
only song he ever learned every word to.
And- yes.
Was
Yeah,
it
that's
Kyrie
what
in
it
the
seemed
gym
like, 'cause
by
he
himself practicing?
cannot recite
with
songs at all.
Man at
Probably.
the Garden? Yeah, I remember seeing that clip. That was a big clip.
And like to me it's like yeah, no, I can see like that doesn't motivate me
yeah.
to be better or to try harder or whatever. Just like hot take wise, Dreams and Nightmare, the intro, I know that everybody from my generation defines that as like a generational banger, and I don't disagree. And I don't disagree with that. But to me, that is not like if I need to lock in. Like I used to play basketball. I used to like I have reasons or like moments where I want to lock in and I use music. I am not using that record personally. That is my opinion. I'm looking at some Davies records, some Nipsey records, some Wayne records, some whatever the case may be. So like to me the like the whole motivational thing is like so subjective. So like versus the best albums list. Like the best albums to me is like a little bit more like refined and pocketed versus
it's still
like
subjective, but
it is.
but not nearly as much as motivational.
Motivational.
Because it was weird.
Because
it's the
you
first time
can-
I've seen a motivational song
because
list.
okay, let me give you a perfect
I don't think
Rap
I've ever
is
seen
the
that
craziest
before.
let me
part.
give you a perfect example. Is that some people can get motivated by Happy by Pharrell.
That's true.
Because
Yeah.
that is such an uplifting song that gets them in the right mind state, that gets them in the right feeling to be productive. And I'm not knocking those people that feel that way.
I mean, that's
But, like-
bubblegum pop though. At that
but-
point,
But that is what is motivating them versus like somebody like me. I need to hear like that Dave East, that raw, that gutter shit, like whatever. Like that's what I get to motivate me. So everybody's motivational is triggered differently. Like
Yeah.
everybody in this room can name their most motivational song, and I would actually like for you to just on the spot say a record. You don't have to marry to it, but like it's all gonna be different. Nobody's gonna name the same record.
No.
remember the name
might.
Fort Minor.
I can tell you mine.
That's a great.
That is-
Remember
that
the
is
name
great.
Fort Minor.
That's great.
That is, we talked about that. I think like last week. Off
Yeah,
air,
I think
but
we did. Off the record, yeah, we did.
That song, man, holy shit!
Man.
I remember when it was on.
I don't think I ever
NBA
been
Live.
That's
so hype.
actually great.
NBA
I don't
Live
think I've ever been so
2005.
hyped for anything.
That was the sleeper answer. Right
So,
now. I wasn't
you?
thinking that. Hate to sound generic, but hustle and motivate, bro.
Thank you.
Ooh.
I love
Motivate.
that.
I mean, I know the name. I know the word motivate
Yeah.
is in the title, but
Yeah.
fuck, dude.
But it
Like,
works.
Come on.
It
I love
works.
that too, man.
Like,
A rapper named a
and
good
Nipsey,
title.
Like
Yeah.
me personally, you know, I never lived the type of life that Nipsey raps about in 98% of his raps. But to see where he comes from and what he's been through and what he's achieved and accomplished,
Yeah.
the motivation is there.
Yeah,
I haven't been through
absolutely.
it. I haven't been through it, but you're coming from a place where you're not making it to the place where you made it to. That's highly motivational for me. Even though I would never live through or experience those things, I love that song.
Man.
100%.
AP, you got a record?
Honestly,
I would say
one of the best ones.
My honestly, it's funny because it kind of relates back to what we were talking about before. Like, and it as I was saying, like how for me, like a motivational track really comes from more like the feeling of it, the sound of it, the whatever it is. So like one thing I think is like horns are gonna that's gonna make something feel. Yeah, like horns on it is gonna make me feel like it's more of a motivational track. But like a great, I guess because the motivation I'm looking for is more in like beat making and shit, and so that's where it relates back.
That's
is that
fair though.
Still Here by Drake to me that's a motivational song because the way that like my dad's a musician too, and the way that me and him talk about like music and stuff is, I wish I made that song. And that is a song that I wish that I made before it was ever made.
Yeah.
And like that's like my motivational factor of saying, okay, if I could do something even equally as good as this, then I'm satisfied. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's one of my major deciding factors of songs that have become my favorite songs is if I've labeled or stamped it with saying, and I don't make music. I've never made music in my life. Is if I've ever thought in my head, I wish I made that song.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh my god, like,
That's a
what
good
the
statement,
fuck
though.
were
I
they
never
thinking?
thought
What
about
were they
that.
on?
For sure.
Making this to
100%.
create it through the process that they did, and it came out as this.
Yeah, so
I'm
so
like,
I
oh,
would say
man.
I would say Still Here by Drake. I also started thinking about, ironically, Laugh Now Cry Later, of being like I
Right.
love that something that sounds triumphant. Triumphant and over the top, like you're overcoming.
So the
Yeah.
only other
No,
song,
to me, it's like I'm not a rapper, but like if I ever were to roll out a single for an album, I would include horns.
For sure.
Like,
So, if
I think that is the absolute bare minimum. If I am a rapper and I'm releasing
fair.
a song, I am dropping my single has to have horns.
It has to.
There's
Just wait
no
on it.
discussion.
So if I ever had to pick another song other than Remember the Name, we just got done.
You already nailed it.
We already were talking about this other artist though earlier. Hold It, Macklemore, Ryan Lewis. What is it? Can't Hold It. Can't Hold Me Down. Or
Can't Hold Us.
It? Yeah, Can't
Yeah.
Hold Us. That song, because of the horns, because of everything in that song, that beat just makes you want to go and do something. Like, I don't know what the fuck I'm about to do. Like, I might just be going to Starbucks, but that song makes me feel like that's how I should start my morning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not
I
personally.
feel like
fan,
you
but I
also gotta
respect-
apologize.
I-
now.
I-
Like that.
Yeah, I respect your stance 100%.
But I
Okay.
don't love all the album. I don't love all that.
I
But
know.
that one song, for some reason, is just like, I'm sitting here listening to everything, and I'm like, yeah, I gotta go do something great today. And
Yeah.
then I realize I'm like, oh, it's just fucking Tuesday.
And that's why it's so hard to make the list.
It is.
That
And-
right there is why it's so hard
No,
to make the
because
list.
it's motivational.
It's
so
motivational, but
subjective.
Yeah.
so what?
because
Exactly, and it spans across like so many different areas of what you can be motivated by. You
Yeah,
can be
right.
motivated by the smallest
right,
thing.
exactly.
Or the biggest-
Music
You could
aside,
be motivated
music
by
aside,
struggle. You
could
could be motivated by flex. You could be motivated by
by
everything.
success.
anything.
Yeah, it's based on what you like and
Yeah.
what you interpret to be the things that you want to accomplish in your life.
Right.
Yeah, what motivates you?
What motivates me to accomplish my goals? If my goals are corporate America, it might not be a bunch of hood shit.
Right.
Like sometimes it might be someone explaining how they made it without having to go that route.
Yeah.
What's like,
For sure.
It's like Platte said, bro. It's sometimes you get motivated through that grimy, that gritty shit. And
Yeah.
I feel that as well because, again,
New York
I
State
have
of
not-
Mind is a grimy
Yes,
song that
yes.
I would say motivates
yes.
me.
Oh,
and
all
I've never
day.
lived that life, nor will I ever live that life.
No.
But it's getting a look inside of that person's life.
Yeah.
You can grasp motivation from things that you have no experience
It's the most
of.
hip hop song ever.
Easily.
Oh,
yeah.
easily.
Yeah.
We talked about the motivational list, but the top 50 albums, and I wish Birdie and Jalen were here because they threw a hissy fit
They're gonna hate this.
before this list even came out. This list was delivered by the gods, because we had this conversation the day before this list came out, and Jalen had hit the chat and said, "Ain't no way that Take Care isn't better than Damn."
Oh, my.
And then
that conversation.
and then they ranked
no.
albums, and what was 6 and what was 7 was Damn was 6 and Take Care was 7. And I said nothing. I was quiet. To me, I said, look, they are their own tier. You can rank them how you want, but as long as you define them as the same tier, I am okay. And that was very upsetting to a lot of people. And I think they knew what they were doing, ranking a Kendrick and Drake album next to each other because
After what
of
just happened.
everything that has happened.
How do you get views? How do you get ad revenue? Attracting people to look at that list, and controversy will always sell.
Absolutely. And so you look at the list, and you can name all your standouts.
We've
But
talked
to
about
me-
a lot of lists on this show.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
I'm gonna say we've probably
I'm very glad. I'll just say this.
I skimmed the list when you sent it to me as well.
I am
Just to
very, very glad that this is the first list that doesn't have Mad Villainy in the top 25.
it actually does it.
Which it should, but you
But
know.
No, that is
doesn't.
my
And
point. Is that I love Mad Villainy. Mad Villainy is a in my personal rankings, it's a 9 out of 10. It's a phenomenal album.
Did Mad Villainy rank at all?
It did. It was like 43 out of
Well, number 50 is a Justin Bieber album, so that's just where it is.
But I feel
That's
like that's
fine.
a given. Because
But
of
no,
who's making the list?
It wasn't
Matt-
it wasn't a hip hop album list. It was
Right,
all
exactly.
time
All time.
album.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. That's why
No,
I'm saying it's a given.
it
But
was
I was also
it
surprised
was
at how
multiple
much-
genres.
Complex
I was
complexes
surprised
go.
at how much hip hop kind of takes over on that list.
Nah,
though.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
It's
Hip-hop is your-
complex, which is a hip hop
Yeah,
platform.
yeah,
So
but
they're
still.
going
Damn
to,
near-
to make
you
a
know,
list
Damn
of
near
the
hip hop is
top-
your top 10. I
yeah,
mean,
exactly.
50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying is
That's
number
number.
2.
No, what's number 1?
Kanye West.
Yeah, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Yes.
Here's the thing.
Not terribly mad at that.
I'm
Not mad at number 1 at
that
all.
doesn't surprise me at all because when the album came out and not too long after, it was on multiple lists as being the greatest album of the 2010s and of the decade.
And
So I'm
it's
not
still
surprised
holding up
Exactly.
15
Okay.
years later.
Exactly.
Can I say the one thing that like nobody wants to say?
Let's say it.
Let's hear it.
And I'm not trying to be that guy, because you know me. I'm not the hot take person.
Uh-oh.
I think we're at the same
I'm
point.
not the hot take person. I believe in delivering what I say. So I don't hot take nothing. I don't sugarcoat nothing. What I say is what I believe. This blonde shit has to fucking go.
The Frank Ocean Blonde shit?
This shit has to go.
I agree.
This shit has been gassed
I'm so glad to hear you
for
say that.
way too long. Because
It's good.
I don't
you
It's
can't
fine.
tell me, yes, you can't tell me that album is good. But you can't tell me that is better than Malibu. That is better than
Oh, hell no.
Control. That
Ain't
is
better-
better.
ain't-
That is better
ain't
than
definitely ain't better than
several
Malibu.
R&B records. Not
was
even
so
even
gas.
equating the rap records.
So gas.
But when I see Blonde in every single top 10 album, look, I love Blonde. I don't hate Blonde. I think Blonde is a top 25 to 50 album in this decade. I think so your list is top 50 albums of the decade. I think Blonde should be on that list. I don't think it should be anywhere near Good Kid, Mad City, which
No.
is what it
No.
was.
And
Not
it,
even
and it
close.
also shouldn't overshadow Good Kid, Mad City by what, 3? Because
It's-
Good Kid, Mad
no,
City ended up
it's
being
so-
number 12.
I agree.
It's so
I
and not
completely
that's
agree.
that's not a Kendrick thing. Like that is a Frank Ocean thing.
No,
when
that-
I
that
look
is-
at
that
when I
album's
look
fine, but it's so
yes, when I look at
over-fucking
Blonde,
And where's
Blonde
Malibu at on
is
this list?
really good. Is really good.
Dude,
I would have put it in the class of great. I can name several R&B albums. I will take. Okay, so here's a hot take. Here's a take that people won't like, but I'll say it. personally, in my opinion, I will take Giveon's latest album over Blonde.
I'll
will.
give you that.
Not only
I
that,
actually like Giveon. Seen him live. Amazing in person. Just like on the
I
album.
only
would,
imagine.
I would personally, I take Channel Orange over
I
Blonde.
was just gonna say that. I don't think
I
Blonde's
think
No.
Channel Orange is objectively
Yeah, I don't
better
think-
than
yeah,
Blonde.
I
think
think Blonde is Frank's third best project. I don't think
out
that
of the
that's
3 that he has.
and I don't.
Oh wow, that's a statement.
But I don't think that that's a disrespectful thing.
It's
No.
not at all.
I would take Channel Orange.
I think
all day over
Alright,
okay.
yeah.
So my favorite artist is Kendrick. I think that Damn is his third greatest project.
Still
I
good.
still hold that in a high standard.
Still nuts.
Still nuts. I look at Blonde. Blonde is Frank Ocean's third best project. I still think it's good. I wouldn't hold it to that standard that I hold Malibu, that I hold Control, that I hold Giveon's 2 album. Like, bro, like I've seen far too much R&B that was talented to like, bro, this shit is so just because you got this like Andre 3000 feature, I'm not gassing this shit.
Yeah.
It's
Just
fine. It's
just
not
because you chose to sing over some like non-instrumental shit, I'm not giving you this shit, bro. I'm not. I love Frank Ocean. Pause.
And like, say I might be reaching here, but like, I genuinely think a lot of the hype behind Frank Ocean is because he's rooted
Mystery.
he's rooted in Odd Future, and he was such
Yeah.
an outlier from everything that everyone was doing that it garnered more attention.
It did.
When it first came
No,
out.
I'm not gonna. You're
It solidified people on that side of Frank Ocean in the
So-
sense of because it was so different from the things that he was
It was his
around.
affiliation. Yeah, it was his affiliation.
You
with
know,
his crew.
and
'Cause
I'm
they
not
were-
saying
they
that's
were all
not
opposite
entirely.
of him.
I won't say it's entirely true, but I'll say I think that plays into.
so
it
you're
in a
so you're not
context.
wrong. You're not wrong. And again, I don't want to discredit anything that Frank Ocean is.
Of course not.
Like again, like if I criticize Blonde, it's not that I'm saying it's a bad album. I'm saying it's a very good album. I'm just
Is not the best
I'm just
album he's
holding
released.
several albums to a higher standard
And
than
he just gets
than
gassed.
Blonde.
I mean,
He's
And it gets gassed because Frank Ocean has, let's face it, he is the Kendrick of R&B.
That's fair. Yeah.
He gets absolutely overly gassed. I love Kendrick. That's my favorite artist. But Kendrick gets overly gassed, and Frank gets that for R&B, where like he gets that pass to where he can do whatever he wants. He can drop a mid-album, and people can find a reason to like it. And I don't think that Kendrick has dropped a mid-album.
They make the reason to like it.
They make the reason.
They make the reason to
They'll
like
find something out of
it.
thin
Yes.
Right.
mean-
And I think a lot of people
He
do that.
exists.
I think a
They
lot
like
of
it.
people do that with Kendrick. I think a lot of people do that with Kendrick. I think
sure.
that a lot of people look at what Kendrick is or isn't doing, and they
And that exceeds his actual
apply.
actual output.
What? And
It
this,
What's
exceeds
that?
it.
Yeah, I
Like,
agree.
who
This-
Kendrick is, it like that
This-
exceeds like by.
This
I
may be
agree.
the hot
I think
take.
Kendrick's my favorite rapper as well, and I think he's the greatest. But
I do like Kendrick.
Well,
I see it
one
at the
second.
same time. I see it at the same time. Exactly what you're. All of us. 1 second.
No, I'm
No,
just
just
saying.
oh,
just
oh,
one
no,
at
no,
a
yeah,
no,
time.
yeah,
continue,
yeah,
continue,
yeah.
continue,
No,
bro.
I definitely see what you're saying. It's like I know how great Kendrick is. I know how great people think Kendrick is, but he does get overly gassed, and
Yes.
I hate to see it sometimes as much as I love him. Because
Because
people don't
it's
see. They're
disingenuous.
blinded. They're blinded by more than the music.
Because people want to buy into this stock of something.
Yeah.
They wanna buy into something. They don't wanna look at an artist as like just an artist. Like
Yeah.
right or wrong, their music is their music.
I would say when it comes to Kendrick, quickly, is that if people buy like people who like obviously I'm a diehard Kendrick fan. You are, and I think we all are in this circle. But like people buy into it because they want to feel like, oh, because this has so many layers to it, and it's so conscious that by me liking it, that makes me by
A better
proxy
person.
more
It's something about me.
intellectual
Yes,
or
yes.
whatever.
A better person,
Yes.
yeah.
Well,
And that doesn't boil down to if you actually like the music or not. I understand why people don't like Kendrick, but I like Kendrick regardless of if other people like him.
People don't know how to just keep it at the music either.
They don't.
That's the big problem.
I think a lot of people view Kendrick as the second coming of another great. You know, everybody knows we lost Pac too early. Everybody knows we lost Big too early.
We've had Jay.
Huh?
We've had Jay.
We've had
at
Jay.
least. So,
Yeah,
we
we've
got
had
that
Jay.
as far as greats go.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the other aspect of it is it's like people look at J. Cole, they look at Kendrick, and it's like we got another generation of greats coming right out the gate. And Kendrick dropped one album, and he was already considered one of the best of all time because of that album. And when you look at him like that, it's very hard to judge the rest of his catalog that he does after that album.
And that precedent set.
Yeah, you set the precedent. So he has to live up to something that he never intended to have to live up to. He was just making his platform.
I think
I'm saying he has lived up to it.
He definitely
but
has.
the feeling of but forcing him to do it is the thing. It's like you go to work every day.
Yeah.
No one can expect you to be the person that was better at the job than you on day one.
Right.
Like that guy just might have been talented at that job.
Or he was just there longer. Or
I think that could have been it.
And so the fact of Kendrick walking in and all
Kendrick
of a sudden
has
being the
longevity.
best guy to ever do the job.
Yeah.
Is
I
like,
think
that's subjective.
What's
I
wild
think-
is Kendrick has longevity now.
I think the smart.
He's proved the same claims that we've placed over his head.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
he didn't have a choice.
More than once. He didn't have the choice, but you can look at a lot of other artists who have been put in that same exact box.
Lupe.
They did not perform to the level that he did.
Precisely.
I
Lupe
hate
is
to
a
be
great
the person
example.
to say this, but
Might be the
as
best
I got
example.
older, I did realize that popularity and notoriety, specifically in this conversation with rap, does mean something.
Yes.
To your career and your legacy, it does mean something. Now, I'm not saying it takes away from your skill. You just brought up a perfect example. Lupe. Personally, I think Lupe is one of the best rappers I've ever heard in my life.
To exist
Top
on
10 all
planet
time.
Earth.
Top 10 all time for
As
me.
far as
From
like
a
an
talent.
actual
If you
bar
want
spitter,
to
actual
if
rap
you
and
want to
shit,
argue talent,
love Lupe.
I will
But he
put
did not
Lupe in.
he did
operate.
not make it to the
Yes.
same the same like I hate to use this word, the same global standard that
He heard
a lot of
himself.
these
For
other
sure.
people were mentioning are. And
100%.
not for me personally, it doesn't mean I'm gonna like his music less, but
Right.
again, to contribute to your legacy and who you are as a rapper, as this mogul, as this person, as Lupe Fiasco,
You got
it does. You have
gotta
to exceed
reach,
a certain
yes.
bound. You have to exceed a certain bound.
All timers have you have to consider all sides of it.
Yes.
Not just how good you like.
Right.
Like my favorite artist of all time is Mac Miller.
Yeah.
Is he one of the greatest artists of all time? No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't put him at the very fucking top. I wouldn't put it. Like would I like to? Yeah, but would I? No, because I understand that like.
honestly, I wouldn't put Mac Miller below a top 25.
I wouldn't
like,
put
me
him
personally.
incredibly
Me
low,
either.
but
I've
when
had
I
this
say
conversation.
when I say all timer, I say like top. Like
No,
I'm
top
not
10.
putting him
You're
in
talking
the top
top 10.
5 or
The
top
all
10.
timers check out. Let's say there's a list of what you have to check out, and unfortunately, this is kind of how it is within rap. The all times check out. Let's say it's out of 10, they check out the 10s. Someone like Lupe might only check out to 6 or 7, and that's where he falls shorter than the rest of these rappers we're talking about right now. Because yes, on a lot of these aspects, he is just as good as your favorite rapper, but there are certain areas where he falls short to,
And he doesn't.
and that's
meet
where it
all,
keeps him where he does.
He doesn't check every single box.
Exactly,
and
he does
that's what makes it great is
Lupe will
checking
never give you a
every
club
single fucking box.
Like the greats we're talking about can check
Why Jay-Z is
popularity,
considered
lyrical
one of the
content.
great, if not the greatest, is because he checks every fucking box.
every single box.
Man, Jay-Z went above and beyond to make sure he checked every box.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jay
like
is
it is.
undeniably
To be fair,
the GOAT.
Yeah.
To be fair, like my first, like I knew of Jay-Z. My first interaction with Jay-Z, where I started to love his music, would have been Collision Course, which is Linkin
With
Park.
Linkin
and
Park,
Jay-Z.
yeah.
Because I was more of a rock kid. My brother was definitely more into hip hop, and I watched our worlds merge. We're only a year apart, and right then and there, I was like, "Oh man, I'm about to learn everything I can about hip hop because this is the dopest thing I ever heard in my life."
I love that. That's
you know,
what your
I
like
love-
top of Jay-Z is because I feel like I don't hear that often.
No,
especially because when I read about Collision Course, I see a lot. I love that album.
Hey.
I see a lot of negative reviews for that album.
Yeah.
And I don't get it because I love what they went for, and I feel like I'm mainly a rap fan. So even at that age, that's what I mainly was. But that introduction into rock with the inclusion of Linkin Park, just opened me up to a whole new genre of music that I probably would have never listened to realistically if it wasn't for that album.
And I personally,
I would have came across it, but at the time that I did.
I love that specifically too because I'm a rock kid. My favorite band of all time is Led Zeppelin. Like I grew up, my dad classic rock. I love 90s rock. I love all that shit. But one band I don't like is Linkin Park.
Wow.
I understand why though.
And it's not that I don't. It's not. I respect what they've done.
Yeah.
I don't love them, but I learned about Jay-Z through. I remember when Dirt Off Your Shoulder came out. That was like intro to Jay-Z for me.
Yeah.
Right. I was probably like 6 years old or whatever.
Yeah.
But like the Linkin Park shit, I know that was going on too. So it's cool to see that there's like different ways that everybody realized, this guy is probably the fucking best at this shit.
That's for me too. The Black Album was when,
man.
said, the Black Album for me was when I realized Jay-Z and his greatness. Now, obviously, after realizing that, you go back.
Yeah.
The Black Album for me, though, was definitely the album. I have very fond memories.
That was the one
I was
that slapped you in
underage
the
listening
face,
to that album, and the song from way back then, for me, that stuck, even still to this day, which will remain until the day I die, one of my favorite Jay-Z songs.
Man.
And it's one of his more mainstream songs is 99 Problems. As a kid, hearing 99 Problems.
So crazy.
Getting older and listening to 99 Problems, so loving it, and then getting to see the behind the scenes of him and Rick Rubin. And there's so many small details. Like one of my favorite details that stuck out with that album, specifically with that song, was Rick Rubin telling Jay-Z, I think the intro to the song should be a cappella, you saying, if you're having girl problems, I feel bad for you. So I love those small little details because he could have so easily not done that.
Ooh.
And it might have still been well received, but it's the fact that he did do it, and
that is that's what makes that song that song.
Well,
is that intro.
What a fucking call!
And I can tell you, like for me, I didn't get exposed to Jay-Z as much. My dad hated any music with cussing in it.
Oh wow!
So he was just anti-rap music.
I was very
all
lucky
day.
that I'm seeing that.
My
mom, talking to you
my
guys.
mom was amazing though. She was like, my mom. I'm riding in the car with my mom.
My mom was that
and
person too.
She's playing Tupac in the car, and I'm like, all right, I'm learning a little bit of this, but I couldn't listen to it enough to gain the appreciation. But my brother, for whatever reason, he was a little older. He had his own car, all the fun stuff. His door had a poster of Biggie and a poster of Pac on it.
Hell yeah.
My bedroom door had Smash Mouth and Blink and all these other rock bands at the time, the early 2000s bands that formed a lot of the things that I appreciated in music that I look for now, which is so crazy because all those elements are showing up in hip hop today.
Yeah.
And it's so amazing.
And if you look back and if you really go look back on it, that was like the starting and the foundings to like that. Not maybe the startings, but like the real intertwining of the rock and rap genre. You know, because we have like you got your like Run DMC and Aerosmith. You know, your walk this way. I love that song.
So that top 50 list we just saw, there's only one album in my mind. Like Justin Bieber's on that list. If I could take one album off and put another album on, I'm taking Justin Bieber off, and I'm replacing him with NERD In Search Of, which is the most defining album of my entire life. Like that album taught me real life in music. NERD In Search Of, and I don't even want to put it at number 50. I really want to put it in the top 20. I know it can't. I know it can't take over the whole list because I mean, I'm sorry, Kanye runs this list. He's on this list probably 3 times.
Is In Search Of the album with the gorilla on the cover, or that
no,
is the cover with
that's
the
one with
flip-flops and
with the dude in the
yes, the flip flops PlayStation controller.
So it's like Rockstar. That's
Rockstar. That's Provider.
That was wild
Lap
to hear at the
dance,
age that I was
brain.
because that was like knowing what genre that classified under, but
I didn't even know there was a genre
I
for
couldn't
that.
correlate it to like it wasn't a rock or it wasn't a rap album.
I
But
don't know what it was.
I knew of Pharrell at the time. I knew of the Neptunes. I knew of
Yeah.
NERD. So Neptunes, for me at least, came before that album, and
Yeah.
it was so different. But at the same time, like I said, it blended those two genres so well that made so many new fans of a genre that maybe wasn't existing at the time.
We're talking Warped Tour years.
Yeah.
So
As much as we'd love to keep this
Yeah,
conversation,
we gotta go. We gotta go to the next track.
Yeah, we are
going.
getting off track.
We do gotta talk about one thing, and it is the
I hate to
biggest
cut
thing.
you guys off.
No,
No,
good.
It's
No,
okay, it's okay.
no, it is the biggest thing, and I just want to know where everybody's at. I just want a genuine conversation of what you define, because the definition is interesting because it's very there is a lot of variables. So, excuse me, I'm getting over a cough. Iceman rollout. So Drake did an email interview. I want to stress that, with Complex.
So I was
And-
confused by that. Was it they emailed question to
Yes,
answer back
and
and
he
forth?
emailed a response to those.
Could have just been text messages in
Yeah.
my,
Seems
in my
outdated.
head, but like it's performance.
Yeah, I
But
like that though.
Either way, so Drake did do an interview with Complex, which I think is what is the goal of it, is to say that. So he talked about Iceman rollout, and they really just dove into like the streams. Like they really dove into like, oh, what was the difficulties behind it? How are you so genius to come up with these streams? Like all of that. And I do think for the record that sounded disingenuous when I said it. I do think that it's very innovative that he is doing the live streams to like promote his album. Because
It was almost anyone else.
Because that is something. No, it doesn't matter. That's anyone else or Drake. It doesn't matter. To me, it is very genius that it is done. So like I think Drake did it very well, and I'm very and you can go back to the last time we talked about the live streams. I'm all in on the live streams. I'm very excited to see where they go, and the whole interview was to explain difficulties in the execution of the live streams, and that he ended it with saying that there is still more live streams to come, and there is a finale, and that the story will be told. And so this dropped on a Monday or a Tuesday. I can't remember.
Weird day.
Not weird day.
Well, weird day.
That's press. That's press day.
Press day. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
That's a press
I
day.
can see what you mean. Yeah.
But I get what you're saying. It's weird as in like it came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But like if you're trying to get attention and momentum, you're dropping news on a Monday or a Tuesday. And so
Start of the week.
so he did that. So it makes me wonder if like the Drake rollout is like still continuing, if he is going to drop for the end of the year. I personally think no. I personally think what I think is this is I think that Drake is setting up for dropping in early 2026. I'm talking late January, early February. He is dropping, and then festival season, and he is going to run 2026, and he is going to get Cole up out of here. And I had a long discussion with one of my good friends about J. Cole versus Drake and where those things are. And that's what I want to bring to this platform, is that so none of us have an opinion on Drake doing the streams or not doing the streams, because you either care or you don't.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. And I don't care to like ask like, what does the panel think about Drake doing streams or not doing streams?
Yeah.
He's gonna do them regardless.
Because yes,
not-
to be honest, he's gonna do them regardless.
And
And
whether
one
you like 'em or not.
and the other part is I think it's innovative because nobody's done that. So
It's
I'm good.
also the
I'm
perfect
good
way
with
to
it.
connect right now too, because
Yes.
streaming has
Yeah.
been so in for so
It's
long.
it's
That's
a
how you
number one
connect.
platform.
Yeah.
The only
So-
reason I had said that I thought that when it comes to like it being somebody else is that Drake. Okay, say if it was, I don't know. Take anybody, G Herbo.
Yeah.
03 Green.
Jeezy.
I don't know
Yeah.
whoever you want to take of doing it. That seems a little more disingenuous than like
Yeah.
Drake, where he could approach this in any capacity
Right.
that he wants
Right.
to, and he's doing it through these live streams. I think that.
And he's doing it with a high budget.
To me, it has a little more credibility when it's coming from him because he could do this any way he wants to, and he's choosing to do it this
So-
way.
And
So
he's
I
already
wanna-
so locked in with the live streams as well. Because if you remember, way before the
Yeah.
Iceman rollout,
He was doing
he was on
interviews.
he was on any big name you would see streaming.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
Although I
it
hate
also
Aiden Ross, but
Yeah.
on his too.
yeah.
But
but it makes
Aiden
sense,
Ross is
though.
the biggest
It
piece
makes
of shit
sense.
ever.
He's the
He
worst.
sees
He
it.
just sucked my
He
dick
sees-
from the back.
That's the thing that's like,
like
I
the
think
fourth
is one
or
of the
fifth
smartest
time I've
things
heard
about
that.
Drake is he knows, not that if he didn't know, he wouldn't be, but he knows how to stay within the times, and I can give him credit for that.
absolutely.
Like with so many ways. If
Right.
it's the sound of his music, how he puts out his music,
Right.
how he connects with his fans, whatever it is, he knows how to stay with the times, and he's done that for a long time.
Yeah.
People won't look at his career and say that, but you know they call him a culture vulture and things.
But-
and
no,
that's a whole
he's
other
what I will
that's a whole
continuously-
other conversation. But he's at the same time, what
Right.
he's doing
I agree.
is working in the right thing for who he is as Drake.
So-
it's
It keeps
perfectly
him. It
works
keeps
for
him
his
relevant.
name. It does.
And whether or not that makes him the number one artist at the time is a whole different conversation.
Yeah.
But it does keep him in the conversation.
does.
So what I want
You're gonna see him on every
So-
Billboard list
course.
every
No
time.
matter
So what I want to ask is a very simple question with a complex answer. Everybody's going to have a complex answer.
I like that.
And that, all right, look, we all know what Drake is and what Drake has been. So I got in a very heated argument with somebody that I love and I respect all of their hip hop opinions. And I'm not going to name their name, but they're going to watch this episode and they're going to know. And I love you. You're my brother. When it comes to Drake and the conversations that are had, we are on opposite fences. So I want to just ask a simple question. So Drake is dropping Iceman at some point.
In the
So
future.
you are Drake. What do you define as a failure and as a success? Because that is a very interesting conversation because Drake has always been a numbers guy.
I was about to say it's easy.
He has always been a numbers guy. He has always been the I'm on top. You can round all the troops and carry the two, and that still won't do what I do, whatever the bar is on Scorpion. Like, he has talked that shit continuously, and he has made his claim on numbers. And so if you want to look at numbers, I don't look at it as numbers
I don't
personally. But I'm looking at, I want everybody in the room to answer. So we all know Iceman is coming. We all know the importance of Iceman. What do you define as a success and failure for Iceman?
If you're Drake. Or me
Just
personally.
in general.
Oh,
Just in general.
I-
What do you as a consumer?
Let-
What do you as an
let-
educated hip hop enthusiast?
I'll get mine out real quick, especially since I'm usually I'm on this show. I just want to get it out in front, and then I want to let you guys go.
Yes.
Okay.
So I would say that, in my personal opinion, is that what will really define a success, in my opinion. Now, I guess let me ask: are we talking from the perspective of what Drake considers as a success,
That's what I
or
wanted to know.
what is considered a success?
So what
from Drake?
I would say is we're all educated on hip hop.
Yeah.
We all
Absolutely,
start
right.
we all love and
love
die
and
by
respect.
hip hop. So our opinion.
In my opinion,
Yes, in
What-
in your opinion,
Drake's
what
success-
defines success or failure?
his success right now, which is something that Drake has never been actually faced with before, is winning in the court of public opinion
Okay.
over, like, winning everybody back that may have questioned or maybe redefined his legacy based off the Kendrick shit. Because I think we're all in agreement. Kendrick absolutely won that fucking battle. He is faced Drake for the first time in his career is faced with the not only challenge but obligation to say, I have to get
I don't say the first time. That's me.
I won't say
Well,
the first time either because it happened before.
to the extent that this is though. This is the only. I'd say maybe there's other moments, but not to this degree that we're at right now. There's nothing even comparable to where it stands as far as Drake's collective the way that he is collectively seen overall. He has been knocked down, I feel, more pegs than ever before. And I'm not saying this just based off what I think. I'm saying court of public opinion.
Right.
This is what it is. So I think this is usually Drake's wins come through numbers.
Right.
That's always what it's been. This is the first time that I think that his real win here needs to be in winning public opinion, winning people back into Drake's corner, because although whatever Kendrick had said on those songs, it's like none of it's been proven true, and he's innocent until proven guilty. There's nothing I could personally say that I know. I don't fucking know his life or anything like that. From my corner, I still like Drake as an artist because none of this is factually correct or whatever.
Yeah. He hasn't been locked up or for any of the bullshit that he got accused
never
of.
Been tried or whatever,
and it's never even made it to court. So it doesn't matter.
To me, he needs to win the court of public opinion back. The last thing I need to say is that it's funny that you say that he's going to drop next year, because I have an alarm set on my phone for December 31st this year that you said you owe me $5 if he does not drop by the end of the year, because you did say he was going to drop by the end of the year.
I did think that, and now I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at the opportunity, and I'm looking at, okay, so you can absolutely do, like, for example, what your op did, what Kendrick did. He dropped in November, and he ran the next year.
Yeah.
So it's absolutely possible. Where I think what I think fucked him up is I think that these episodes were happening, and then Taylor Swift announced that she was dropping, and Drake has said several times over, Taylor Swift is the boogeyman. That's the only. He's literally said from his own words. He said Taylor Swift is the only woman that can make me drop later. That is
his only competition.
That is
Number
his
one,
only words.
Taylor
And
Swift
I'm not
dropping an album,
and I'm not
runs the
hating on
stage
that.
every
I'm
time.
not throwing. That's not me throwing shade. That's me just putting out facts. And so I think if I'm Drake, look, and I've said this for all my favorite artists, what you want to do is you want to drop quarter one and lead into festival season, because quarter two is festival season, and then you have the whole summer to run shit, and then that carries you through the entire year.
You could EP in summer, even with the summery thing, like whatever. But it
so
sets you up.
for me, if I'm Drake, I'm dropping in January, February, or March. One of those, March at the latest. And I am setting up to run 2026, which I feel bad for J. Cole, because I got an argument with one of my good friends.
Because isn't the fall off supposed to come on this year?
Yes.
I think
it was supposed to come out the last 5 years.
I think the fall off is going to be.
I love J. Cole. I love J. Cole, and I know people that are holding very high hopes for J. Cole. God bless
it's gonna be a good.
You have to at this point.
God bless him.
To answer,
I want to say that when it comes to this situation, is that J. Cole is not going to step on Drake, and he's not going to step on Kendrick,
because he needs to. He
needs his own time.
He understands.
He needs his own time.
He needs the floor. Yeah,
so he fucked himself royally not dropping this year, because Drake is not going to drop in these next 3 weeks, because
Kendrick definitely.
Definitely is,
the industry shuts down after like
I think
December
we got a
like
year
15th.
for Kendrick.
Yeah, not even no.
So-
like the month of December,
Yeah, like,
realistically, is
if
like
it-
kind of just off written.
If it's not announced December 1st,
There's always like
it's not
there's
happening.
there's
in
always
December
like
usually.
one album that like does well in December. Like you look at like Roddy Ricch, you look at like whatever.
yeah.
Like there's always that like one album,
but
but
very
it's
few
one
that
album.
really turn tides.
It's
like,
one.
yeah.
It's one album. So like you are punting. That's why I think that Drake is gonna go crazy in 2026, and it is gonna fuck J. Cole up because J. Cole has been waiting 9 years for the fall off, and he is gonna have to wait another year.
So,
But he might not though.
no,
Either
I
way.
agree with you on that. I think J. Cole is gonna have to sit aside
Let
for
him.
a whole nother year.
I don't
He-
care. I
because
love
even-
J. Cole,
even if
but
he
I don't
dropped-
care at this
even
point.
if J. Cole decided to drop in the summer,
Yeah.
No, you go ahead.
I'll
No,
say
you go
even
ahead.
if J.
Yeah.
Cole decided to drop in the summer after, let's say Drake does drop in February or March, and J. Cole decides to drop during the summer, he's not gonna overtake Drake. Like Drake,
Not unless the only way he does is if he openly declares war on Kendrick.
and
Because
We
that
know
will
he
be a
won't.
headline because we haven't got
And
to it
that's
yet.
what we wanted.
We haven't got to it yet.
I wanted
But
that
there
more
is-
than Drake versus Kendrick.
But
I
there
wanted
is
J.
a
Cole
there
versus
is a
Kendrick.
whole. What did you say?
I said I wanted J. Cole versus Kendrick more than Drake versus Kendrick.
I did
J.
too.
Cole
When we
doesn't
thought
want it,
that was
though.
the case.
I did
When I thought
too.
that's what was gonna happen,
because
that's what I wanted.
because to me
And I love them both, and I would rather never see
yes
them at war. But I wanted
because
to see
to
that.
me
I don't think they wanna
to
go to
me
war.
I looked at it simply
did.
I looked at it simply as J. Cole was
cool.
always third, and this was his chance to eliminate being third.
you said
And
Kendrick.
one quick note: J. Cole's
Cole.
also been the one I feel like
I think
over
he
their
was fine in
careers.
third.
Man, maybe he's behind Drake. J. Cole mentions a lot about him being the best out of them three, without saying he's the best.
And then
out of
he
them three.
tucked
He's the
his
king.
tail.
He's the king. Yeah, that was my one.
So
gripe
he
with
can't.
J.
He
Cole.
can't.
Yeah, but-
he
Don't tuck your tail
he,
when the time
He
comes.
he forever
He backed
solidified
out of the
himself as
beef.
third.
Yeah, with that alone.
But he
you
did back out of
what?
the beef.
You know what J. Cole I
Yes,
think does
and
have.
when he
Hey,
did that,
that
he's
made you in
third forever.
And you're okay being in third. Like, what can you do?
No, you're
But
very
I'm-
okay
if
with
he
being
didn't take
third.
that,
What-
and he came with what we wanted. I'm
Still
not
being
saying he's
third
on
is
their
good.
level. Being third is very good, especially behind the 2 year behind.
I mean, I would take that all day, but
up until a certain point, at least
As a
and we're
man.
talking about rap,
As a
we're talking
man.
about rap
But
here.
yeah,
rapping wise, if J. Cole would have took the right route with that, this was his time
Yes,
to say,
this was.
I can be
He is-
number one out of these
but
three.
He is the.
rapping-wise.
He is the. He
could've
is
said it,
the
but he
objectively.
didn't.
He is the best rapper of the
He
three.
is. He is
But
the best rapper.
I give you that,
agree.
and I love him and his music to an extent that's a little bit different, and I kind of vibe with J. Cole a little bit differently, but because he took the backseat of that and he kind of like backed out of that without trying to take any sort of damage, like he was like, "Oh no, I'm just gonna back out and I'm gonna let y'all two
Right.
fight," even though he was dead in the fucking center of it. To me, that will always be an issue. It's like, don't tuck your tail between your legs when you started to fight. Don't throw a rock at me and then run away.
Yeah.
Listen,
Don't-
I'm not-
don't,
I'm not- I'm
don't
not-
throw rocks and hide your hands. Yeah.
Exactly.
We have dunked on Cole plenty of times throughout this podcast, so I don't want to do it again.
The
But
only
I
thing-
love him. I
Especially
love
this
his
segment
music.
right now.
Okay. The
I
only
do
thing,
love his music.
The only thing I want to say about Cole, coming up to this, as we
Pussy.
know that this
No, I'm kidding.
the fall
That's not what I'm saying all day. But
as we know that
I
the
think he
fall
should
is
have kept
coming.
going in that battle.
Yeah, we all look at it. I mean,
would've loved to see it.
I still stand for
Yeah.
the point is that I also don't give a fuck about the politicking of it.
Of
Is
course.
that if J. Cole drops a good album, it's gonna be a good
I'm
album.
still listening to it.
But you know what I do, and
I
I've
feel
thought
he's
about
separate
this
from the
recently, is what J. Cole really does well over the other two is
Apologize.
rollout.
Yes.
J. Cole
Yes.
is way better at rollouts than
Yes.
both Kendrick and Drake above and beyond.
Oh
Yes.
man.
I agree.
J. Cole is way better
Yeah.
at rollout.
Yes,
than that.
Kendrick will just drop.
So Cole has that playing to his advantage.
I don't think anything's
agree.
gonna hurt Cole in
And
that
I think
sense
that'll
of
still
his
help the
rollout.
fall off, even if he drops
But
after Iceman.
I think that
talking about Iceman
the
winning
way
money.
the way J. Cole is operating right now, I think is very interesting.
Yeah.
That he is quiet right now.
because he
Very
everything we're
quiet.
saying, everything we're saying right now, and that what everybody's been saying,
He understands.
sees it. He knows. He knows his.
J.
his,
Cole is not
the consensus of
J. Cole
Cole.
is very smart.
Yeah, he is. He knows what he's doing. But
Very
to get
smart.
back to the Drake segment, and you asked us about the success and failure aspect of
Yes.
Iceman.
Of Iceman, yes.
So just to give a little context,
So
here's
how
what
do
I
you
want to start
define
with.
it?
Here's what I want to start
Because
with.
I know. Let me before
Yeah.
you go.
I'm not gonna forget.
I wanna explain the context of it. Is
Yeah.
so that there are people that I respect their opinions that I talk to, and I won't define what they define as failure, but to me it's very interesting to hear the conversation of what you define as failure and what you define as like cooked versus falling off.
Yeah.
Because to me that is two different equations. Because I have said personally, that Drake has the last several albums he's put out are very lackluster.
Falling off.
Yes.
So I already think that Drake is falling off.
Yeah.
I agree.
So, but at the same time, I'm not ignorant. I grew up in basketball. I grew up in sports.
Yeah.
You can fall from 1 to 5, and guess what? You're still a top 5. LeBron James, for example. LeBron is 41. Damn. And he
That's
is
crazy.
and he is still a
Look at how
baller.
He's still performing.
He is still
At
a
41
baller.
years old.
He is not the best player in the league anymore, and that is fine. And
He's
that is
still
all.
very
That is
good.
all I
He's
want to
still
do.
he's still
That's
top
all I
10?
want. All I want to do is properly rate artists
Yeah.
based on my opinion.
Of course.
That's my opinion.
Yeah.
And so that to me is a very interesting Drake conversation, is because I think that what you define as like falling off versus like, taking a step back, like, I think that's a very interesting conversation, because you can make your own conclusion off of that, and you can ride off of this is what I define as a fall off. This is what I define as he is cooked.
Of course.
This is what I define as like, oh no, he took a step back. He's still nice. Don't get it twisted.
Well,
But like,
a fall off and cook are different. Yeah.
exactly.
So-
and that's what I love, is that like Twitter will tell you there's no difference.
Yeah, Twitter
Well,
definitely
my
does.
question-
I agree with Chris.
Let's let Dom give his 2
I
cents.
agree with
real
Chris.
quick.
Yeah.
That was going to be my point that I talked about, but I want to mention something first before I agree with him, even though I just did. Drake's, what I would look at as a Drake failure is a lot of artists' highest successes is a Drake failure. Not even, and I'm not even saying that as a Drake fan, but it.
No, that's
Unfortunately,
a fair point.
The level that he's gotten
got
to,
no argument there.
it is like, for me to consider Drake to have a failure with a drop, an album, whatever it is his numbers. He's already shown the quality of music he can make, and he's made it so consistently. I feel like the number one deterrent to show you he's fallen off or he's dropped a failure as an album will be the numbers initially. Initially, it will be the numbers, and for the most part, it'll be the numbers. But me being the fan of music that I am, specifically rap, I'm gonna judge it from a different point. It's gonna be the quality of his music, and like you also mentioned, he has had, for his career, he has had his fall off, to me personally. So it's hard to say it's the numbers when I'm more judging off of what he's rapping about, his beat selections, who he's collabing with. Like, a lot of different things play a part of this. So I will say it will be the numbers for me initially. If I see the numbers are low, right away I'm gonna be like, damn, it's probably not good, because any Drake's numbers that have been low on his albums.
So what's that number to you? So what's that number for you?
It's hard to
That-
say.
And that's why I
I
started.
know
I
that's
said
hard.
I couldn't even say.
and
That's all.
why-
That's
no,
all.
for sure. And that's why I said his failures are a lot of artists' high success.
Right.
Which is why it's at the same time hard for me to say it's going to be the numbers, but numbers for Drake because of who he is and how much he does sell on an average.
Plays
A
a
fall
factor.
off for Drake, number wise, to me.
I'm
We
so
are in the
curious.
streaming era.
I'm
I'm
so
putting it out. We are in the streaming era.
I'm
It would
so
be about
curious.
like 200, 300,000. And that is,
Okay.
to me, especially now more than ever, those are astronomical numbers because we see a lot of albums that are held as a lot of
Very
artists'
few
highest albums,
people
and
reach
that's
that.
where they've reached.
Very
It's
few people
200,
reach
300,000.
that
But
So
I feel like
Playboy
that speaks
Garch.
more towards Drake to be able to say that. Like, that's his low. Some rappers wish throughout
Cardi-
their careers they could even reach that number, and a lot of them don't. And I still have a lot of artists at a high regard that I know will never
Right.
reach those numbers. So that speaks a lot towards
Yeah.
Drake. Whether it's just a
I agree.
popularity thing, whatever it is. Like I said earlier, as I got older,
Numbers
I love that. I love
realized
that.
They
the
do
numbers
matter.
do mean a lot throughout somebody's legacy because
Like-
you have to reach that point. Like you can be the best rapper, but if you're not reaching the point of popularity, there's a reason there why you did not reach that level.
Example being, I believe it was Thriller that it was like over 1 mil to 1.5 the first week, no streaming, physical copies.
Sales,
Physical.
no internet, nothing.
And they didn't
People
even.
that's over 1 million people that are going to the store that week to buy that fucking album is insane. And I know we're living in a
9/11
wild time.
happened and people still bought Blueprint.
You know what's
Yeah,
wild?
I
I was
know.
gonna bring
That-
that,
that
up.
day,
I
I
was
know.
gonna bring that up.
Motherfuckers
on
was
the
at Best
top-
Buy on
Yes, I was gonna
9/11
bring that
in
up.
New York
Yep.
City
Now,
saying, "Yeah, I need this new
the-
Jay-Z."
Here's something I
Yeah.
thought
The
about.
towers
to ask
were
you guys.
falling,
I
but
wanted
they
to
were
ask
Tower
you guys
moving.
this.
Records, all those
I
places.
really wanted to
You're
ask
right.
you, all you guys, because I thought about that when I skimmed through that list. This question arose in my mind. Now, I think it speaks a lot about Jay-Z to be able to. I mean, obviously, he didn't know 9/11 was gonna happen the day he planned to drop his
Or
album.
did
But
he?
back then, you
No.
don't
Or
have
did
the,
he? Right.
you
I was
don't
gonna say
have the
that.
option
Don't
of
play, I'm
changing it.
sorry.
It's turned in.
It's done.
It's
Yeah,
turned
it's
in.
done
That's
now,
it.
right?
Yeah.
So, my question was, as much credit as I would give to Jay-Z for selling the numbers that he did on 9/11, do you guys feel like, with the occurrences of that day, did that affect his album sales?
Yes, negatively.
100%
And
negative.
my next question was going to be, do you guys think he would have been who we know him to be now, or even some years ago, sooner, had that not happened that day?
I don't think.
Yeah,
I don't think
no,
that
I
that
don't-
changed Jay-Z's reputation.
I don't think
I
it does
that
because
changed
that's not a
his
thing that
sales
everybody
for that
knows.
album.
Good. Yeah, it isn't, and that blew my mind because I feel like I found that out at an early time. I was
Yeah.
like, wow,
That's
album
like a
dropped
Jay-Z
that day.
fun fact.
It is, and the
Well,
fact
it's
that
not
he's
very
a
fun, but
he's
yeah.
a New York rapper on
Yeah.
top of that.
Right. That's
plays
what
a
I was gonna
lot
say.
to it.
Was it because like do you think and I think that there's part of it that there had to have been at least a collection of people
Yes.
that went to Best Buy that day in fucking New York City and said, "Damn, I fuck with New York. I'm putting it on for New York. New York
Yep.
just had the worst day of their lives, and they're buying it."
Yes.
Do I think that is the overarching thing? No, I think that it negatively affected the sales
Right.
in general, but
Yeah.
it still sold well.
That's what I'm saying. For what happened that day, arguably the worst tragedy
Right.
in American history.
American
a lot of
history,
people
yeah.
would say that. To still sell, what did he say? He sold.
$1 million or close.
I thought it was low.
Let me see.
I thought first week was like under
You might be
200,000. I thought it was like 177. I could very well be wrong. But I thought like
177,000?
considering the album that it is, and I will only give it the
Right.
benefit of the doubt because of
427.
okay, I was way off. Wow. That's amazing.
So
Half a
It's
million.
amazing.
Roughly half a million.
It's rough. Yeah.
Especially because back then, again, it's physical.
yes.
You can no
And
streaming
that's
numbers.
a great
nothing.
argument I used to have with a lot of my boys is they talk
It's
about
2001.
and I don't necessarily disagree with them on this, but they speak of the magnitude that a lot of newer artists reach now, and I try to tell them, well, you have to credit for a long time now, but especially now more than ever, you have to credit a lot of that to the internet
right.
because that is now where it's known worldwide. Where I used to tell them, hey, back in the day, you had to physically sell these copies. So the dudes that are selling millions of physical copies, I feel like that speaks more than you dropping during the internet age, because
There
you're
is
only
no
getting
rapper that does that
No,
anymore.
and you're only getting that out of, realistically at that time, your TV and the radio.
The
So those are the only two things you're hearing of drop dates, release dates, the promos, the press. Like, that's where you're getting your main source of info from. They were literally having people go out and physically purchase these albums.
The only people selling above that at this point are Taylor Swift,
Top artists,
Ed Sheeran, and
Beyonce.
Adele. Maybe like that's it. Like,
Beyonce.
not even.
Maybe not even Beyonce.
I don't think she didn't sell.
Whoa, I don't want any smoke.
No, I fuck with Beyonce. Trust me, but
I mean, I'm
Don't
just gonna
Hey,
say
nah.
her Beyonce's
They will
numbers
chew
are
you out.
generally not far below
Careful with the
Taylor
beehive.
Swift's.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, I'm probably not a Beyonce fan. I've sat on the floor at the Taylor
Bleep
Swift concert.
that.
Yeah.
But I do appreciate what she does. I may not.
Unbleep.
I'm
So-
a very early.
Also, too.
now,
Beyonce
first of all,
fan.
Taylor Swift, when it
I'm a
comes to
Destiny's
numbers,
Child
is
Beyonce fan.
absolutely completely jaded.
100%.
Because of all her fucking 18, she drops
You guys
by
are trying
the
to get
fourth
us
day of her
canceled.
album coming out this year. She had 28, not exaggerating. She had 28 versions of it that all sold separately.
Yes. 100%
And there
true.
are people who are buying all 28 of those. No, and this is not exaggerating. This is an actual statistic. By day 4 of this.
If it's a
Yeah.
red album,
So-
whatever album she drops, there's several colors of it, and everybody wants each color or each album cover of it.
Taylor,
So people are buying it. It's the
and it's
same
got the
album
demo
sound-wise.
version
It
of
looks
one
cool.
song on the end. Taylor Swift's newest album, The Life of a Showgirl, first week.
That's
4
Also, her worst
million.
album she's ever released.
4 million.
Yeah.
4
see.
fucking million. Beyonce, Cowboy Carter was 400,000.
Right.
This 4 million.
Difference.
The 4 million?
10 times that.
Listen, I don't want no smoke with the boogeyman.
No,
No,
I do.
no
I
one
do.
wants no
Yeah,
smoke.
just
No,
facts.
ugh.
I said, I'm a fan. I'm a Taylor Swift fan, but I will say that
I'm not
she
either.
does drop several albums of several versions of each album.
She needs them sales. She's a fucking.
But
it's
it's
whack.
a business. I mean, you got to realize, if there was ever a machine to run the music industry, it's behind Taylor Swift, and it's ran her for
sure.
20 years.
It is
Right.
like, in no way.
I've
am I
never seen
comparing
anything
these
like
two
it in my
artists.
life.
That doesn't make it okay.
No,
though.
I didn't say it's okay, but it's
right.
It
true.
doesn't mean anything to me. But your mention earlier of Thriller, you said Thriller did 1.5 the first week.
I
Somewhere around
believe
there?
so. Let me see.
So-
let me
Imagine
let me
what 4
double check.
million's like in
my,
this
my
age.
thing is this though. My thing is this. This is where I'm against the numbers argument at this point.
Mhm.
To me, Michael Jackson. This is subjective.
Greatest
for
of all
sure.
time.
Michael Jackson is 100 times the artist that Taylor Swift is or ever will be.
I'll never argue that.
But you cannot look away you cannot look away from the fact that 4 million first week. I don't care what genre of music it is. I don't care who you are as an artist. 4 million first
Oh
week.
no! I was way wrong. What's crazy is
Way you're way higher or way less?
no
Way
way wrong in that Thriller only sold 20,000 copies
Yeah.
the first week.
Yeah.
It gained, but bad.
We can also attest to
That is a better
Bad.
Thriller being a 50
Bad.
million record sold
So, 4
album at
million?
the same time.
Or 1 million.
Fuck the first
Bad.
week. Fuck the first week.
Bad. First week, 7 million.
Okay, there you go.
copies.
There you go.
Oh, so that is
you
the
go.
greatest of all
So
time.
fuck
selling
what I was
album.
even getting ready
It
to say.
In the
has
first
to
week.
Be. It has to be.
There can't be an album that sold more than 7 million in the first week.
Highest selling. Bro,
What did Logic sell first week?
Stop
Are we
it.
gonna talk about Logic?
Stop
now?
it.
what did Lil Baby
Jesus.
sell?
Yeah. You
Logic.
Highest
If I gotta guess,
Hey, I gotta say though that
130,000 for
Suicide-
Logic first week.
Suicide Hotline song.
oh, I've been on the low. I've
Blew
been wasting
that
my
album
time.
up. He sold good on that album. That's
I think it did more harm than good.
I agree. Cause I'm a rap fan.
But
And I hate to say that, but
I will say that was
and
my.
that was looked at as a very corny move by Logic.
But
Unfortunately,
I'm
I
not
get
gonna
the message.
lie.
I get the message. But you know I hated that.
But
We know why I
again,
hated that.
again, I look
I
at
love the
Logic
song.
as, and this is
I
where my
shouldn't
hip
love the song,
hop
but I love the song.
DNA is
I'm
flawed.
a young Sinatra.
This is where my hip hop
fan.
DNA is flawed.
And, like,
Is
Under
that
Pressure.
I think that is corny and a terrible song.
Yeah,
I
100%.
appreciate.
I get the
I
message behind
appreciate.
it.
The
I
sentiment,
appreciate
man.
because I know there are cornballs out in the world that like related to that and
Yeah.
that like and that song helped.
Of course.
And so
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Fair.
I can never look down on
Who
that.
can relate? Woo!
I mean, it touched me a little bit. Like, as a veteran, you know, the
talk about
Show me on the doll where it touched you.
well, yeah.
no go.
right on the Eagle Globe and Anchor, man. You know what I'm saying?
Perfect example. Talk about touch. This touched hip hop media to a core. This upset a lot of people, or it amplified a lot of people. It was very divisive. Nas had his feature on the De La Soul album. I don't know if y'all heard it.
I listened to it today.
Fire.
God did.
Absolutely fire. Nas was talking that shit. Nas has been on that shit. I love Nas. I love that the state that Nas is in. The De La Soul album.
I haven't listened.
I listened to it all the way through.
It's amazing.
But when you get to this record with Nas, and before the album dropped, this circulated. And I think that's an interesting point to highlight. Is that Nas commented on his verse on the State of Hip Hop saying that the only people that make hits these days are Kendrick, SZA, and Doechii.
Yeah.
And I thought that was very interesting to say.
Disagree.
Hard disagree.
Oh, I completely disagree
hard
with that
disagree.
statement.
In fact, I really don't know
I-
why he would say that to begin with,
He's a
considering
TD bot.
I don't.
that. Yeah, but even still, that's just like that's an ignorant point
It
at that
is.
point.
I-
That
That's-
tells me you don't know what's going on in
That's
hip-hop.
very
At all.
I
You're not
feel like
following-
he.
you're
I feel like
following a
he's
very
so
small
out of
area.
touch.
Very out
He's
of
so
touch.
out of touch.
very out of touch for that.
out of touch.
Like I like
completely.
don't get me wrong, I definitely like those mentions. I like all three artists. I love SZA.
Same.
I like Doechii a lot.
Yeah.
We already talked about Kendrick, but that's just wrong. Like they say opinions can't be wrong. Their opinions, that is a very wrong opinion in my eyes.
yeah,
I'm sorry
it-
to say it that way.
I don't know if
Can
he
never
was,
get behind that.
I don't know if he was just trying to attract attention with that.
He was.
I mean, keep in mind all three are TDE artists, or Kendrick was, if he's not anymore. Because
He was.
all three are TDE artists for one.
Yeah.
Not saying that's what he was going after, but you have to point
No,
that out.
he was absolutely, and this is what annoys me. This is what annoys me is that now Kendrick has become a part of your rollout.
Oh
Yeah.
And when you look at it, because it's not only this Nas record that happened to be the only record that was premiered off the album, very coincidentally. Then you also have the De La Soul interview where they talk about who are the greatest MCs, and he said, "You know what? The only person I put in this generation that is worthy of being like up there with Rakim and all that old shit is Kendrick."
Of course.
Fair.
And so this whole press run has been very Kendrick
Is he trying,
centric.
Is he trying to be on board with Kendrick, or is he trying to?
I think it's
No,
more
I
like
think
they
I
believe
think
that,
I
but
think it's
ride
I
high.
Nas and Kendrick are fine.
Yeah,
they're
I
cool,
don't
and
think they got
they've
beef,
made
So-
some
but-
music
so I
before,
think it's
from what I
twofold.
understand.
I think it's twofold. I think it's that like Nas has a genuine respect for Kendrick. That's fine. And De La Soul might even have a
Yeah.
genuine respect for Kendrick. That's fine. But I think they both understand the moment and the name and the highlight and the attention that Kendrick Lamar brings right now in 2025
More than ever.
is higher than ever. And as a Kendrick fan, like, look, I am being totally honest and transparent in saying that there is a clout chasing attachment to
Kendrick's name.
Kendrick.
Yeah, to his
I mean,
name, for sure.
if you can,
Because
if
if
you
you
grab
come
on
out
his coattails, you're gonna ride to the top or as close to the top as you can right now.
a absolutely
Even
I
even
don't-
if
I
you're
don't
even
think-
if you're a Hall of Famer, first ballot, and you haven't dropped anything in a while. You attach to
No,
Kendrick,
if you're
gonna ride
if
high.
you're
right
a,
now, you're gonna get some numbers.
If you're a hip hop artist, if
And I
you're
really
a
hate
hip hop
that,
artist
but
dropping
it's true.
in this year, next year, the year after that, you are finding a way to attach yourself to Kendrick in some way.
Look at Joey Badass.
Roddy Rich.
Yeah.
Good point.
Thank you.
Good
Great
point with Joey Badass.
Joey Badass. Roddy Rich, when he drops his album, it's going to be either A, I have a Kendrick feature, or B, he's going to do a press run talking about how Kendrick has always supported him.
Well,
think it's
also
gonna be the feature.
both
You're
both
right.
being from
I'm
the
right.
same,
It's gonna be a feature though.
and being from
Feature
the same,
all day.
being from the
Makes
same city, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
all that. So like, bro, that's just is like, because I do agree. Is like I mean I think that you're hard pressed to find anybody who is on the level of what Kendrick is as far as his actual just take the numbers aside, whatever, everything.
Yeah.
Actual like
He's got the
rapping
culture
ability-
right now.
rapping ability, like there, you can't. It's hard to beat it, but like Nas, that's what's crazy about not to say like. I'm not saying that you're crazy, but the idea of Nas clout chasing is also crazy. I don't think that he's necessarily clout chasing. I think that it's just an easy answer.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's
Okay, that makes
I'm
sense.
not looking at it as Nas clout chasing. I'm looking at it as De La Soul. There's a difference.
They're clout
Right.
chasing.
But
There's a difference.
But they don't
Like,
they
not-
don't need
no,
clout
like-
chasing either.
No,
it's
but
not that,
no,
it's
but
like, why make
not
mention of
no.
Kendrick now?
I disagree.
As opposed to any other
Nas's
time.
Nas's name is Nas. Nas has weight.
You're saying Nas is bigger than
De La Soul.
Absolutely he is.
I swear to God, I love De La Soul, and we're gonna get to,
yeah,
and
I'm
we're
one of
gonna,
the great-
I'm
and
agree
we're-
with
and
the
we're
greatest
gonna,
hip-hop
and
groups
we're,
of all time.
and we're
Absolutely.
gonna get to ranking De La Soul all the time. But if I'm being totally 100% honest from the bottom of my heart, I love De La Soul. If they didn't do a press run, I didn't know that their album was coming out this week.
I didn't know it came
100%.
out until it did come out.
So
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
It was
so
a
it's
silent
not
drop
it's
to me,
not
I get
it's
it.
not Nas. Nas, think about his recent drops. King Disease.
No,
Magic.
I
you
might
knew
be,
you
I
knew
might be wrong. I thought that in the interview, was it Nas that had mentioned this, or was it
Yes,
De La
it's
Soul that
it's a
had
Nas
It was
it's a
Nas.
Nas verse on the
Right.
De La Soul, but the record the album, excuse me, the album is produced under Nas's label.
under Mass Appeal? Yeah.
So it's in Nas's best interest to stir conflict.
But yeah, that's what I don't think Nas
never
is
thought about
wrong.
it that way, but that's actually a good way to look at it.
I don't think Nas is wrong, and I don't think that
No.
I don't. Obviously, Nas doesn't need it. Like he is objectively seen as one of the greatest.
No,
of all time.
Nas is looking at this moment as a moment to get attention. I genuinely think that as much as I respect Nas, I think this is a clout chasing moment, and I don't hate him for doing
He
it.
just wants
But
the
clout
money.
chasing
this-
that's a strong term to use. I feel for what it is. I think it's just.
But what else?
you
What
rather
else
say
do you
he's
call
chasing
it?
numbers?
Clout chasing. I don't know. I attest clout chasing more to grabbing on to trends without being like willfully informed on whatever you're grabbing onto.
Fair.
Where
Fair.
I would say that by not saying
I would
that,
disagree
by,
with that,
By
yeah.
not saying that, is it convenient?
Yes.
Yes, but also if there's anybody that I would trust who he's talking about,
Kendrick.
it would be like I trust that Nas is
Right.
at least informed in that perspective.
Of course.
That's
just,
a good point.
it-
I agree.
It's hard because clout chasing to me feels like again, I
Like,
feel like
so
I've said
negative.
this word so many
Disingenuous?
times
Yeah.
today, but disingenuous.
Yes, it is. It is.
Disingenuous, you know what I mean? And I don't think Nas is being disingenuous necessarily, but I do think that it is the easy answer.
Like it's calculated, but he
Well-
actually also means what he's saying when
Right.
he says that at the
It's
same
like
time.
it's kind of
It's
a
not
catch,
I'm
it's a
saying
catch
it for
22
interview
right there.
sake.
Yeah.
Right, you're right. I'm not just saying
So-
that because this album's rolling out under my label. Like
Right.
you know before it, if it is that still, you know before it's that he means what he's
You
saying.
know what
And
the
that
deal
could be
is.
that
But
second. Yes.
he said SZA and Doechii,
Yeah.
and
I kind of like
That does turn
That's
to
terrible.
TE glazing.
it does. And,
you
and, like,
understand what I mean? Like what you just said made me want to take what he said a lot more seriously. But then I had to go back to exactly
You're
what
right.
he said, and then I almost have to backtrack on that because I'm like,
That almost
can't
makes me
be
retract
just
what I'm
it.
saying.
No, it does, and it sucks because those are
All good
some of-
artists.
In those, those
All
are
great
also
artists,
some of the
but-
best mentions for him to bring them up now.
If one of
because
the-
SZA just had a huge year with SOS, Doechii's breakout.
So-
Huge, humongous.
so-
right? So I get
SZA
those
being on
mentions,
tour
but
with Kendrick, but
yeah,
it's
but it's
all
the fact that it's
TDE.
only those three mentions
and it's
is where I
all-
draw my line at.
It's
So,
all
If
TDE.
he would have named other names, yes.
Who else?
But it's like-
or how you phrase it. For example, if you think this is the new big three, because that was a bar before
Yeah.
before the record
That would've been a
existed.
bit different conversation.
So
like that?
he set up. He talked about big four. No, it's always a big three, and then he mentions Dot,
three.
SZA, Doechii.
Yeah.
So it's different. Like he is saying that these are the big three.
of
Versus
and they're all TDE.
versus if he says I think these are the next three.
You are right. No,
Yeah.
So
retract
so
half my
Nas
point on
Nas
that,
could have
100%.
Nas could have said it a different way, but I also think that Nas is smarter than all of us when it comes to rap.
That's
Yeah.
what I don't get about
I'll
it.
never argue with that.
That's what, but
SZA's not rap though.
no,
No,
of course
but
not.
That's where the TDE
but
button is
Nas is smart. Nas is smart enough to
to
Yeah.
know.
Nas knows.
knows that
Nas,
they're all-
Nas
He does.
knows that what he says is aggregating all of these hip hop
course,
platforms
of course.
and getting us all upset and riled up
Yeah.
and saying all of this shit.
You know
because
what? I will retract and say that almost feels more intentional at that point.
no, it is. It is
Because-
100%.
because of that specifically because Nas of all
Because Nas
people,
isn't stupid.
In fact, Nas is one of the smartest rappers to
Yeah.
ever grace the fucking microphone.
Absolutely.
Honestly,
100%. No argument
like,
there. Or he's
and
an
you
idiot.
Listen to any of Nas's music. So for him to have not even thought of that
Yeah.
is he knows.
He
what
absolutely
he's doing
thought
in
of
that.
it.
You're right. He knows what he's doing in that. And so like I won't fully retract
And also,
everything about him, but
let's
that's
let's
part of it.
let's
Definitely
do
don't fully
let's
retract.
do the simple math. Let's do simple math. When did this record come out?
What with De La Soul?
It came out hours before the album dropped.
100%.
Oh,
Yeah.
What the De La Soul record?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, this record where Nas is saying the things that he's
When
saying.
They dropped
Nas
it-
only
they
said what
dropped
he
it
said
before?
hours before.
Yes.
The album came out today. When did they drop
Yes.
it? When did that song
Like a day and a half, 2 days ago, something
Yeah.
like that.
as a single?
As no,
Nas's
they
response or
previewed
interview
it. They
is-
previewed
yeah.
it on
the interview.
on Joe and Jadakiss's podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying the song dropped.
Yeah.
Like
Yes. No.
okay.
No. He previewed the whole song. on their podcast.
Joe and Jadakiss's podcast. Yeah.
So that is very interesting that you chose to premiere this song.
On this podcast.
That tells me you're not
right.
dumb.
Yeah, he
You know,
knows what he's doing.
I won't fully retract my statement because
No,
I do
no,
still think it's
because
awfully
because
convenient.
everything you said is 100%
I think
right.
it's
I'm
very
co-signing
convenient,
it.
But also, yes, Nas of all people is
It's
way
smart
too
enough.
smart to not have. He knows what he's doing.
Yes.
Of course.
In whatever capacity. So I don't.
And that's
I don't
and
personally
you're telling
love-
me
I-
that's the only song released before the album.
And I don't personally
Very
love that.
interesting.
Yeah.
I think Doechii's great. I think I love Kendrick. SZA, I don't even know why she's in that conversation personally.
Because
But-
she is.
Because she's a
100%
mega star.
intertwined.
Honestly, Sense Control. Control obviously was the breakthrough, right? Because I didn't really know too much about SZA besides her on features. But when Control came
But
out,
that
I didn't
makes
even
her
listen to her.
I
when
was
Control
a Z,
came out, but
baby.
I seen it. I seen the potential there, and then anything she dropped after that only went upwards.
Gas.
No, I'm
Towards
not talking
Yeah.
down on SZA. I'm
No, I
saying
know.
why she's in the conversation of best hip hop artist because
Oh,
she's
yeah,
not a
that's what I
fucking
said.
hip hop artist.
That's what I said. SZA's not hip hop.
Yeah.
She's not.
I
She's not at all.
agree with the fact that
So-
she's not
That was
hip hop.
clout
I
chase.
think that
That was the
I
TD
think
you
they
mentioned.
included her because she's been on some of the best hip hop songs of the past 5 years.
Per se, yeah, which is fair. Like
And they just want to add her in there. I guess maybe could be to make her feel special, but could also be a little bit
you just said on the best hip hop songs. You didn't say she's had some of the best songs.
I know she has not.
Rapping on those songs.
But that's what I mean. He said on some of the best hip hop songs, meaning as a feature for you to put a feature artist.
Oh, I agree with you 100%.
I'm
not arguing.
I think Nas knows
that's why he
exactly what he said.
Yeah.
And he
did
delivered it
purpose.
that way. And he is smart enough to premiere on his label that is distributing this album this way.
Yes.
Genius move.
There's nothing you can't
It
convince
gets
me.
people like us talking about.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I will
That's
also
all you
make,
want to do.
I will also make this one argument, and it may not be a valid argument to you guys. You guys remember when Ashanti first debuted back in the early 2000s? They
I was pretty young, but I do. I remember seeing it on MTV, the Top 20 Countdown or whatever.
They announced her as the first princess of hip hop and R&B. Ashanti ain't rapped a goddamn song in her life.
It was all R&B.
It was all R&B, and I think
I'd have given her a pass.
because they intertwine those two. I mean, I'll give Ashanti
yeah.
whatever she wants.
You know what it is?
But you understand, Ashanti,
because-
some of her best songs were features.
It's because
on rap songs.
It's because,
That's what I mean.
It's because
It's the same way.
in music
That might be why they make that tie.
in music.
And I would love SZA too.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's where I go with that, and my
Is that
brain
what?
clicks to that.
He said he said he loves SZA too.
Oh, we all love
no.
SZA.
But what did you said about? Because the way that I think about that is that it's because that when people think about music and they think about black people, they think about hip hop and R&B
all day,
and that's it.
Yeah.
And that's like a perfect example is I can't particularly remember which artist it was, but when it came to the Grammy nominations, they got put into the R&B category when they are very clearly a pop artist. But it's because of that, like
The fact that they were black.
that it boils down to. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And that's fucked up. What you make the decision of what you. If you make music, you get to decide what genre you make.
But
Well, I can't wait till I drop a country album.
Arguably the largest
up in the rap
award ceremony
category.
for those, that genre of music or any genre of
For
music.
sure.
It shows the unfairness that's
or
there.
or look at the uproar of Beyonce with her country album. It's like, is it maybe not? It's not Johnny fucking Cash traditionally country, but it's not that far off from the
and we
country
know the
music that's
reason,
being made
and we,
today.
and we
So
know
to
the
be
reason
we
they're
can
saying
go-
it's not country.
And
it's not because it doesn't sound like country music, because it did.
Well,
Facts.
we could also go a little bit further back than that, just a little bit. We can go Lil Nas X. The argument that he shouldn't have been on the top of the country charts with Old Town Road, even though that was actually a country song. And then to argue it, what he did was like, let me throw Billy Ray Cyrus on this fucking song.
Yeah.
Just so you have to shut up.
It was not about the fact of whether it was country or not. It was the fact that he was a black gay
It was
man.
his image, yeah.
Well, he wasn't gay at the
he
time.
was.
No one knew that.
Nah,
No, he was definitely gay at
everyone
the
figured
time.
out
It
pretty.
was just-
It was
Time
pretty
out.
quick.
Let
He
me
was gay
rephrase
at the
that.
time, but
He was
I'm
not
not a-
openly gay at the time.
I'm not a betting man.
He's not openly
Yes, you
gay.
are.
but you would bet to say that.
Actually, no. I
You
will.
are quite the
I will
opposite
take
of
that
that,
all the
Mike.
way. Yes, you
Yeah.
are.
All right, so for the first thing,
I
I
am a
ever have to
gambling man.
retract
I would
on the
place
air,
a bet.
he was probably gay then. But the first thing I ever have to retract is the statement that he was not gay at the time. He was not openly and publicly gay at the time.
Yes.
We did not know anything about Lil Nas X.
It was quickly found out. They just didn't like the fact that he
And-
was a black man in that space.
Yeah,
It's like,
that's what it
Shabuzi too. Finally, like everyone's like,
Big
okay,
extra
I
plug.
guess he's got it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, well,
he
shit,
got
he
to
wrote-
the point where it's like they couldn't deny it, which sucks because it shouldn't take that to be
That much,
considered in
yeah.
that genre. It
You
should
see-
not
you
be
I
see-
would love for
You
people
see
to
what
look at
Big X the
Shabuzi's
Plug
song
is
credits.
going through. You see what Big X the Plug is going through right now. He is
Oh,
getting
yeah, man.
absolutely roasted by hip hop.
Yep.
and I would
I don't
say
know why, 'cause
that
I've heard
I
plenty
would say
fire
that
Big
Lil
X the
Nas
Plug
X's
verses.
album it's pretty country, but it is
All right.
pretty
Yeah.
hip hop.
Album not country, song is country.
For
And there's a difference. I will give him that he has made 1 or 2 country songs that are actually country.
And rode that way.
And he rode the wave
But
because he attracted
that album
the fans.
and the performances
Yeah,
I've
you guys
seen and
did that
everything
too.
do not seem to as country as
No, the rest
it's
of
made.
the rest of his
That's
music
what we
is
know
not.
country to be. Yeah,
It's-
100%.
it feels-
Number
Yeah.
one, the moment you throw anything like Lil Nas X throws some demonic imagery in his videos and
No,
his
whatever.
songs.
So did 3 6 Mafia. I don't
Yeah.
know.
However,
You know?
I love
however,
3 6 Mafia.
you
Me
too.
cannot do that in country music because country music is like some weird.
God-fearing men, brother.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
weird
Yeah.
spin off of gospel music.
contradicting.
So you can't do that and do that. Like
Interesting. I never thought of country kind of being a spin-off of gospel music, which is
I'm
pretty
just-
fucking true.
it is. They just include
He's-
alcohol in it.
he's not
Yeah.
not wrong. I'm just saying that there's different standards. Whereas like 3-6 Mafia can like push the edge in hip hop,
Oh, I love
but like
3-6.
in country, Lil Nas X, like he had a music video where he was sucking the devil's dick.
Yeah, you can't do that.
like,
You
like
can't, you can't slide down a fucking
Like-
stripper pole to hell,
Bro.
and
Tell
suck
me
the devil's
he's not
dick.
getting
You're
fooled.
right.
yeah.
I'm just saying.
Well, no, that's when he
I'm
told
just,
us all he
that's
was.
when he was
I'm
gay.
just saying, bro took it further. Bro
Like,
took it
Not
further.
even further. He
No,
took it too
I,
far.
I won't even say further in the set. Bro, it was 3-6 Mafia. What does 3-6 stand for?
Yeah.
Like, no, it was devil worship music. That's
For
what
sure.
3-6 Mafia was. And if anyone has like, any contesting points to that, please enlighten me. Because
No,
that's
that's
exactly
what it
what
is.
it fucking was.
I just thought
Think
they were
it- think
36
it-
years old.
Speaking
No,
of
I'm just
great
joking. Just joking there.
Speaking of great groups,
Ooh.
let's get out of here. Let's get out of here with this. So, De La Soul dropped their project as an honor to 3 Feet High and Rising. This is one of the vinyls that I had to like put a lot of effort into getting to. But
Oh,
I'm
wow.
glad I
Greatest
got it.
hip-hop albums of all time.
One of the greatest hip hop albums ever. But
And
they
in the
dropped
best
their
condition I've
dropped
ever
their
seen
album
it.
this year. They dropped their album this week, and it had a bunch of features. It had Common, it had Black Thought, it had Slick Rick, it had everybody, it had Nas. It was a star-studded cast. What I wanna ask is this, is because I think De La Soul is the most forgotten great in hip hop history. Like I think that they are the most like overglossed when you talk about history. When you talk about like telling the story of hip hop,
Looked over.
they are the most looked over 100%.
I like that.
You're right.
And
I got no
and
argument
so-
against it.
so that is a safe take.
Yeah.
The hot take is that are they a top 5 hip hop group of all time?
Group?
No.
Group.
No.
No.
Group.
Artist or group?
Group.
Group.
No.
No.
Top 10 for sure. Top 5? No.
If I had
And that's no disrespect to them. It's just, as soon as you ask that, I feel like 5 different groups already jumped.
Now-
into my
I got
head,
6.
and-
I got 6.
That's the question, I feel. What are the groups? What?
This is no order.
So let me throw out names. And then you guys can rank however you want to rank.
Okay.
No, actually, I think let everyone try and throw it out without naming names.
Okay, go ahead.
Because
I got mine.
off
I
top,
got mine.
So
But this is in no order
so
for me.
so neither of them said yes.
So what?
Do you say that
Do you say yes?
without naming?
I have not thought about this point, but ideally, yes.
Ideally, yes, they are top 5.
Yes.
Okay.
Which
Fair
is
enough.
fair. So they're not in my top 5, but I will always respect that.
He
for
said
what
no.
they've done.
He
I
said
say
no. I say no.
And
You
I
say
say
yes.
I say yes.
It's fair.
a-
It's fair.
a
That's
low-
fine.
a
That's fine.
low
That's
on
fine.
that.
That's fine.
I'm
We'll
trying to
we'll have the
get-
convo.
I haven't thought about it. Yeah.
We'll have the convo.
Yeah.
So other
We're
groups.
naming?
Other groups.
Okay.
Alright, I
So
say
go ahead.
NWA.
Kick it off.
This is in no order.
Yes.
NWA, Wu-Tang. I'd put Mobb Deep above them.
Okay.
Hold on. Oh, This might be a little controversial, but this is my personal take. I'd put UGK over De La Soul.
Okay.
I love UGK.
Nah, man.
And I would probably put 3 6 at the 5 spot.
Okay.
No, that's 4.
Was it?
You only gave us 4.
UGK, NWA, Mobb Deep, 3 6.
3 6. One more.
Wow.
I got
Brother, you're
know
missing a
mine.
layup.
I know, but you don't even got my number 1.
You're missing a layup.
I'll give my 5 when he's done.
You're missing 2 top 5s. Off rip.
Oh,
And I'm probably gonna miss
drawing
him.
a blank right now.
That's fine.
All right.
We'll come back to my
All right.
5th.
So,
What do you got?
Bone Thugs.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Bone Thugs. I'm gonna go ahead and give us Wu-Tang because I love Wu-Tang.
Me too.
From there, we're gonna go ahead and go Black Star. Man, I love
I
Black
like
Star.
that.
I love Black Star.
I like that.
So I got
That
Wu-Tang,
wasn't on
I got
my
Black
list, but I
Star.
like that.
That's a good one.
If I gotta go 2 more that are above them because I put them at my number 6. When we talking groups, Outkast is up there. I cannot forget about Outkast ever.
I can't believe that hadn't been mentioned yet.
Like, and it was up there. It's in my.
There's
I'll
also
give you guys why I didn't name.
there's also a
Outkast,
very
but they're fitting.
obvious answer that hasn't been named yet.
More than Outkast?
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
way
oh,
more than
easily.
Outkast. They should be over Outkast.
I'm probably not gonna get what he's guessing, but so I'm at 4 so far. I got 1 more I got to name.
Digital Underground. No, I'm playing.
No.
Dude,
I
my head
mean,
almost
you know,
went back off. I was gonna say, what?
The Furious Five.
I mean, we could always go old school because I love my old
Outlaws.
school.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah,
look, and
You're old enough, talk
honestly,
to it.
man, I really like the Diplomats.
Okay.
And I'm a Cameron fan, man. That music was
that
was music from a generation for me.
Okay,
No.
can I say the answer that hasn't been
Yeah.
said that's very obvious?
Yeah.
Yes.
A Tribe Called Quest. What are we doing?
Yeah, that's in mine too.
Why
That is
didn't no
absolu-
one
that
say
is-
Tribe? You're right.
That is absolutely fucking in mine. So
I give you that.
You wanna go first?
So let me just name the names over De La Soul respectfully. So I'm giving Tribe, I'm giving Wu-Tang, I'm giving Outkast. This is no particular order.
Yeah.
I'm giving those 3 unequivocally.
Mm-hmm.
Like there is not
I agree with that.
No question.
a single
Solidified top 3.
debate. I'm going NWA. That's 4. 5th, I feel like they have a real argument, but I'm gonna have a take that's very like, oh, you're being so hip hop. Public Enemy.
I can respect that answer.
I got no
I
argument
can respect
against
that.
it, but I do understand what you meant.
My list is very similar to yours. Him and I, it sucks because we tend to have a lot of the same takes.
Well,
And-
That's okay.
It
though.
makes sense.
But
It's gonna
because
happen.
we're fucking, we've been discussing music
Yeah.
since the day we were born, basically. So yeah, I mean, Outkast. I will say I'm not gonna numberize the rest of them, but Outkast is number 1 for me.
Yeah.
I love Outkast is it's my favorite hip hop group of all time.
Mm-hmm.
I love Tribe and Wu-Tang obviously. Yeah, okay.
I think
Wu-Tang.
those 3 are unanimous.
Yeah.
Like no discussion.
Yeah.
No, and I was saying
Everybody struggled to have a number 5,
That-
and you threw out Tribe, and everybody was like, "Oh shit, that would have been my number
Yeah.
5."
Well,
At
my
least
5 was
it-
out. My 5th was Outkast.
Well, you left
from
that,
what I didn't
and
name.
I couldn't. When you started naming, I couldn't understand why you left Outkast out.
De La Soul to
I'll
me
tell you why.
it is, now that I'm thinking about it a little bit, because I have to. Well, okay, hold up. Let me grab one more. I would say. So we got Tribe, Wu-Tang, Outkast. It's hard to say. I have.
You
a,
said NWA
I have
as well.
A fifth.
You
That's
did.
the thing.
You did say NWA.
No, I did not. No, I
Oh,
said.
he said
I said
NWA.
Outkast, Tribe,
Yeah.
Wu-Tang. Absolutely, those are that's undeniable. The fourth is hard because I know my fifth, and I know that there's something in between, and I'm having trouble trying to pick because I don't want to necessarily say Dipset. I don't necessarily want to say De La Soul. I guess what's the best option here?
Cypress Hill.
The Saint Lunatics.
ICP. No, I'm just talking shit.
Oh my god.
Shout out.
You know
Disturbing
what?
the peace.
I don't think I can decide a fourth because I know that this has to go fifth.
It's got to go.
But
Rough
I'm
Riders.
putting it there, which nobody mentioned. So I'm just I guess I have to skip my fourth. If I have to put it in, it would probably be
D12.
Dipset, honestly, or
Damn.
it would probably be Dipset.
Well, I said diplomats.
But-
yeah, that's what I meant.
But I know,
Camera. Yeah.
I know. That's why I'm throwing it. But number 5, nobody mentioned Odd Future.
Oh, now you're naming collectives.
I'm taking Odd Future
Every-
over
So-
a lot of shit.
Every
Let me add to
time.
that. I
Every
had
time.
So
my
to me-
phase of Odd Future was at a time where
me-
that was not the rap I listened to, and one of my buddies showed me that.
I get it.
And it took,
I respect.
but it took, once I got into it, that took over for a good period
Couldn't
of
go
time.
back.
I couldn't go
probably-
back from it after that.
But
was
then,
Probably a
oh,
year
yeah,
in
you
life.
don't think of them as a hip hop group
No.
or whatever.
No,
'Cause they're
actually,
not.
I didn't- it
Number
was
4,
hard.
honestly, if I were to
'Cause-
say, I would say it would be. This might be hot too, but Black Hippie.
Cause them,
Technically.
cause them Black Hippie ASAP Mob, to me, they didn't put out enough, like, as a
As a
No,
collective.
no.
Yeah.
I disagree with that. No. Odd Future had Odd Future Tape Volume 1, Odd Future Tape Volume 2. How much more? Like they have actual collective
Yeah.
tapes together. Like there's nothing.
Well, if that's the
No,
argument,
And none of
A$AP
them
also
resonated.
had. Not that I'm saying
Cozy
they.
tapes.
No, they
Cozy
did.
Tapes,
They had cozy tapes, but it wasn't as good as
nowhere
the Odd
near.
Future
No.
tapes, in my opinion.
Especially, I
think
love
both-
Odd Future Tape.
I think
love
all of
Volume
them
2.
can get the fuck out of
love
here.
all-
Also,
Volume
too,
two.
I got to throw in an honorable mention because Bryce, who's not with us tonight,
Oh,
God
'cause
rest his
Little
soul.
Brother-
he's flying everywhere nice in his dreams right now. Little brother, you know that's
Yeah.
his thing. I got to throw that in there for him as an honorable
Hey
mention.
man, Fonte is so cold.
He has literally like blessed on him, and he's like, dog, Fonte, like.
I
Fonte.
will never forget
Really?
Doja Cat being live on Instagram breaking down a Fonte verse.
Man, it's wild. Man.
It was one of the greatest things that ever happened in my life.
Like little brother.
I wish-
little brother is amazing, but I also understand why they've never been mainstream.
Bro.
It's better when certain groups aren't
Did you
mainstream,
see
honestly.
that video where Doja's breaking down Fonte's verse?
No.
Bro, it's so I'll show you after.
Yeah, so we
And
got to
I-
find that after
I
the fact.
Bro,
will say
it's
that
it's crazy.
I think having Odd Future in there could be a hot take, technically, but they have.
I don't think they have
albums
the
into-
catalog personally.
Yeah, they don't have a catalog, but
Yeah.
that
Personally,
But it
which
is
which is
good.
fair. Like
we also-
depending on how you look at it,
Yeah.
whether
Catalog's
it's
not good
about
or it's not long enough.
not
both.
long enough.
What-
We did name NWA though,
right, which was not long either.
Which is at all.
and I will
Not
take
long
and
enough,
I will
but
and-
however-
but the
Talking about
impact,
catalog,
the
that's a
impact
great
definitely
point.
trumps.
but
it,
I will take
Individual
Straight Outta
artists from
Compton
NWA.
over everything that everybody ever did.
You
You said you take what?
straight out of
that's-
Compton over anything Odd Future did.
I got
which
it.
is like I'm not
I
mad
give
at it.
him that.
That's fair.
I'm
That's
not
fair.
mad at it.
And Black Hippie.
but
And
there-
fucking
I will
and
say
fucking
there-
I got an
Inside
argument
Mob,
there.
There
Cozy
is-
Tapes. You can take all of them,
I-
the best records of all of
I-
them.
I
You
will
can
not
combine
say
them.
that-
Odd Future though.
I will not.
You can combine. You can
What
combine
came
Odd
from it
Future, Cozy
has
Tapes,
been
and Black Hippie,
some of
and
the
that won't
greatest artists.
Fair.
that won't
We have,
equate to that.
there's
What has
three
come from-
standouts
what
to me
has-
from Odd Future. That's Tyler,
Tyler, Earl, and Frank.
I don't
But-
think that's.
and not to mention, then the internet has a lot of great.
And then
What
you
I'm
got Damo
saying
Genesis.
is
I'm not trying to disrespect.
And,
No,
and,
no
and,
disrespect.
and no. I get why it's not necessarily considered, I guess, like one
Yeah.
of the hip hop groups of
Yeah.
all time. But
Its influence is crazy.
What I will say is they have arguably some of the most influence, like out of a lot of fucking groups that have formed over time. And I will say is that their catalog, even though their catalog as a group is smaller, it's just as comparable to like you said, an NWA.
What I'll say to combat that is because I don't fully disagree with what you're saying. I think that Odd Future is one of the most revolutionary groups like ever. Like if I have to rank them amongst like contemporaries, amongst like ASAP Mob, amongst Black Hippie, I think that Odd Future is way more influential than both of those combined. I think that but I think that also the way that like Odd Future was influential, like I think that if you study hip hop history, like they're the most influential to a generation.
I would say
versus you look at like the other groups and their influences, and their influences are generation or spanning multiple generations, and so I'm not trying to discredit like Odd Future by any means, because I'm actually giving them their credit, because if you were to tell me to pick a group from like 2008 or 9 forward that like had the most impact on hip hop, I would pick Odd Future.
No, I got no argument against it at all.
What I'll say with
that's crazy.
The thing of what Odd Future, like in my head, because I'm biased in a sense of like I'm a really big like fan of Odd Future, but what they did for hip hop was very similar to what Wu-Tang did.
Yeah.
In the sense of it opened up that really grimy fucking I don't want to say like horrorcore necessarily, but like really like just like the grimiest shit that you could possibly think of. And I think that Wu-Tang that's why I always will put Wu-Tang at the top. I think 36 Chambers, I talked about in the last episode, that's a top 5 album of all time to me.
Because you don't get Odd Future without Wu-Tang.
But
that's my point.
Yeah, you wouldn't get Odd Future without Wu-Tang. And I think that Odd Future did take that even further down to that time.
Pushed the boundary.
Because if you really, even when you think about Wu-Tang, technically discography wise, as a group, they have 2 albums or 3, and then everything else is all the collective people underneath,
or 5.
Like Liquid Swords and fucking Return
to
36 Chambers and all that shit was not technically Wu-Tang albums.
Let me say like the one thing that this is why Wu-Tang is so incredible, and this is why Wu-Tang is to me the number one group, and there's no debate, is because it spawned several like arguably greatest hip hop album of all time. Like you have Supreme Clientele, you have Liquid Sword, you have Only Built for
Human Links. Yeah, let's fuck everything.
Those three albums get mentioned every single time you talk about greatest albums.
You're absolutely right.
You're right.
And I'm not. That's what like
they're your top 20.
I will not say Odd Future is on that level.
But I will say that nobody comes close, in my opinion. Nobody comes close to matching what Odd Future did from 2010 on. Nobody. Like, because
there's never been anything like it.
And they were literal.
Because like I think
they were 17 years old.
Earl was 16 rapping the way he was, and I hate to use the age thing as an argument because you look at Nas.
Yeah,
he dropped Illmatic at 18. I mean that's 17,
crazy.
18, it's a year difference. But I would say as far as an age conversation goes,
especially
dropping Illmatic at 18 is much more impressive in my eyes than Odd Future was dropping at 16 or 17.
I agree.
Not to take away from Odd Future at all.
And that's why, like, look, I'm not gonna like.
But also, nobody from Black Hippie or Beast Coast or Pro Era or ASAP Mob, whatever.
Pro Era
nobody,
a really good.
Nobody was coming.
Odd Future had that shit on lock at that point, at that very moment, and like looking especially looking now at the artist that specifically Tyler, who was very clearly the lead of all of it. Like you could call RZA the lead of Wu-Tang, but like but Tyler was absolutely the lead of Odd Future, and to see the artist that he's become and how far it's came from that, and then you get we had this argument about Frank earlier, and unfortunately, I'm sorry, but Frank would not have been in that position if it was not for Odd Future.
Like sure. You're 100% true on that.
That's why, like, I get it. Like, it wasn't the most profound music in the world, but the waves that it made was a specific.
Well, I don't disagree.
Never my style of rap.
You'll disagree?
Like,
I don't.
Me looking back on it now, hearing it for the first couple of times, I was like, I hate to use this word, but like. It does fall kind of under the genre. It's like shock rap. It's horrorcore. Like it does fall under that, at least for the times that it came out, because that was Odd Future should not have worked at the time that they came out. It shouldn't have worked. It was so out there. They pushed the boundaries so far.
There's not a time and space where it should have actually worked.
It did. And that's what's crazy. To them more.
But you know what? You know who the most comparable really is Eminem.
Yes,
that's fair.
Yeah.
Shock factor.
He's some of Odd Future's biggest influence on the
Tyler,
rap side.
Tyler has said multiple times
that
Eminem
is one of his heroes. Like,
so I just like that. That's why, like, although like the argument is very arguable at the end of the day whether they are, but I will put them there because I think that although you are correct, Platte, in that I guess you haven't necessarily seen a whole lot spawned directly off of it. Some people kind of, but like not really. You hear it more here and there than like anything direct that spawned off of it. But what it did was it expanded to where young kids didn't feel like they needed to just do mainstream shit. They could do whatever the fuck they wanted. And that's why I loved Odd Future. Like they were it was rebellion. It was punk. It was hip hop's punk. Like that's what it was.
But to be fair, it was their generations because like NERD was that.
NERD was my generation.
NERD is not punk. What do you mean?
No. NERD was the alt
counterculture.
It was our counterculture.
All punk is different though.
No,
punk being directly political, directly against.
I do want to remind you that Green Day and NERD are all in that same era of music, and they were all doing Warped Tour shit. You're talking
I love Green Day
like
too.
You're talking Hoobastank, you're talking all these guys, and that was when NERD was. I'm sorry, man. I hate to have to bring them up.
So fun.
But I'm telling you what was at the Warped Tour because it was the first music festival I ever went to.
Yes,
and it was the dopest shit ever.
I guess I look at it differently in the sense of that Odd Future was abrasive.
Yeah.
As opposed to NERD and Pharrell and the Neptunes or whatever you want to call it.
Can I ask what do you consider abrasive by 2010 standards or early 2000 standards? Because those are two different answers. What was abrasive to us in the 2000s was something that was a civil right and acceptable in the 2010s. That is the difference.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the difference.
The world changes.
Odd Future and Nerd, or NERD.
And there would be Odd Future without NERD.
True. NERD would not have been abrasive by the 2010s. It was abrasive for the time that it came out, whereas Odd Future still would have been abrasive in the 2000s and in the 2010s. I think that's a clear difference, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, like, to be fair,
to
be fair, we're looking at Tyler. We're talking about Tyler, the Creator. We're looking at things that weren't even acceptable early.
Unless 2000s. You're Eminem.
Unless
you're Eminem.
I mean, not even just saying that.
Oh, yeah.
Not even just saying that, but let's look at it from the standpoint of what we've begun to accept as a society, which I love that people get to embrace being themselves. But I remember I went to art school.
Mm-hmm.
Me too.
You could not be gay without
in art
getting.
School? Yeah, like
no. But you were getting.
I went in the 2010s, so I was like, yeah.
You're talking about me. You're talking about me going in 2000. Like my freshman year was the year 2000. people were still getting teased, harassed, and yeah, I'm old as hell. People getting harassed, teased, and still getting beat up and everything. And like, you walk down the hall and you didn't like something or something just wasn't right. You're like, oh, that's gay.
You're gonna make it apparent, yeah.
That was the weirdest thing ever. And now today, like in the 2010s, when culture changed and everything became acceptable and certain things weren't allowed anymore, and PC culture came in. That's really what it was.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with that because I think everybody deserves to feel accepted and to feel welcome.
For sure. I agree.
For sure.
Back in the day, we just were not that tolerant. And then also being black
Yeah.
and a gay, like being a gay black dude, you were not accepted at all. And we knew that it was like, oh, we better stay the hell away from a gay black dude.
I find that
it was the worst, homophobic thing. Like, that was crazy as hell. I remember riding to school with my dad one day, man. It was a kid on the radio. He went to my high school, and he called into a radio and was telling them on the actual air, and he was talking about being gay. And my dad pulled the car over on the way to school and immediately asked me, Brian, are you gay? And I was like, no, you just let me have Mariah at the house last night. Like, she was helping me with my homework, all right. We'll call it
quote
that,
unquote, yeah.
Like, I really didn't need help with English. I speak it just fine.
I'll write a paper.
I just turned Lord of the Rings up real loud for you, so you didn't know what was happening downstairs. But
motherfuckers was walking for a minute.
Yeah. Oh man, it's fucking Two Towers, longest movie ever. But at the end of the day, I realized that these things are different. So like, Future to me, I know we call it shock rap, but to me, I was just like, this is the way the world is supposed to work now, because everybody else, if they would have said this 10 years ago, it would have been canceled or never listened to.
And we can also just all here differentiate the context from what
yeah,
they're actually
the
saying,
context
right?
for sure.
We know it's within context. Like,
yeah,
to an extent, it's within context.
And
I respect it all, and I love Future for the fact that they get to be what they are.
And
of course.
And that's really where I'm going with that. I love it.
The last thing I will say on the topic about Future is because 100%, like, I do agree with all that, absolutely. The thing about Odd Future that I think really made waves, and what I think that is similarly that Wu-Tang did, was not necessarily all in the way that they rapped, but beat selection. And that's what I meant. I feel maybe that better clarifies my point in saying abrasiveness of distortion, griminess, that nasty, that oh fuck, this is crazy.
And these kids were from the fucking West Side doing that. That's the crazy part.
You know what I mean? And so I think and that if there is one thing from Odd Future that I feel like bleeds into certain things, like when you get to these, like, okay, Ben Riley just dropped an album today. He has Happy New Year on there. That distorted fucking nasty shit, like that goes from Wu-Tang to Odd Future to what's coming out still today in certain respects.
What year did Odd Future drop?
2009,
2009, 10, 11 in there. Yeah.
I gotta say, I think NERD may have taken the page out of their book, because Seeing Sounds, which is the album with the gorilla on it, that was their only album where the music was distorted, and they gave you that rawness.
And Pharrell is very.
That was 2000. That was 2009, 2010.
Tyler and Pharrell are like.
They're like that.
Super tight, because Pharrell is Tyler's biggest influence.
He might have actually learned from Tyler on that one, and that might prove the point of.
Yeah, just in the music of it.
Tyler became an influence
not
for
necessarily
Pharrell,
the
which
lyricism.
Tyler is one of the most influential. Shout out to Tyler, by the way, before we wrap this podcast. He got named Apple Music Artist of the Year. We're gonna get into our we're gonna get into our MVPs another episode, so I'm gonna save that. We're not gonna have a whole conversation about it.
No.
But shout out to Tyler for that.
Tyler the credit, man. Well deserved.
Well, yeah, well deserved, man. I can't wait till we name our. I got a whole case of awards
As the biggest fan of him, I don't know because this hasn't been his best year.
No,
Not as
Not
best
even
year,
close.
nowhere near.
Chromacopia to me was fantastic,
feels
but
like a
that was
lifetime
that's
achievement,
my
but-
favorite Tyler album. As a
But-
lifelong Tyler fan, that was last year though.
but he
This
still,
was a
I
lifetime
didn't
achievement
his
award.
is still well deserved.
It is my.
I'm not mad
I
at.
didn't like Chromacopia. I don't know why.
I loved it
My
personally.
favorite Tyler album is by a landslide. Call Me If You Get Lost.
You're the
I
only
never
one that
thought
said
in my
that
life.
was-
I never thought in my life I would have had a Tyler and DJ drama tape, and I didn't think it would work on paper. It did not sound right to me. The album came out, and I was absolutely mind blown by what I was hearing. On
It
that
was mine
Massive, so
until
crazy.
until
we're gonna
Chromacopia.
play that shit. We're gonna play that shit after
Bro.
we get off.
Yes.
Off mic. Off mic. But that.
so hard to end it, right?
No, I'm getting over this cough. Thank you everybody for tuning in to this episode of the Rat Cave Podcast. Damn. As always, I'm your host, Chris Platte, aka Platte Pods, with a few of my nearest and dearest friends. I got Dom to the right of me. I got Brian to the left of me. I got Big AP on the ones and twos, holding it down. Thank you for everything. And please like, comment, share, subscribe. Help the channel grow. We are trying to build the dopest hip-hop platform. And we will build the dopest hip-hop platform. The best discussions you will ever have in hip-hop history will be right here on the Rap Cave Podcast. So make sure you're tapped in. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to my first-time guests on mic. Y'all both killed it.
Of
Shout out
course.
to you.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate
Shout out
brother.
to you. You guys
Love
will
being here
both
with
be
you.
back in this situation again because you absolutely killed it.
Like and describe.
And shout out to my producer. One more time, flip the camera to him. This is last day on the job.
This is my new plan. Yeah, no, I'm good.
This is last day on the job. He is getting fired. If you need somebody to hire, you can hire him.
Hey,
No,
little
I'm
did
kidding.
y'all know I got a pension though. It's
I'm
crazy.
kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah, he's got a great pension. He's got a great pension. I don't know how that happened, but he's taken care of. Thank you everybody for tuning into this episode of the Rat Cave Podcast. I will catch you on the next episode. Be safe. Have a good weekend. Be fun. Do all the stupid shit that I won't do. Peace.